started.
All right. In that case, would you grace us with a little bit of recap, Connie? What has occurred last time we played?
From the beginning of the campaign till now.
No, we'll do that in character.
Yeah, I need to get my notes ready for that because I know Hig finna ask me
Uh,
a lot of questions.
Oh, come on. Your notes and your recaps are always fair and accurate.
They're
No,
always
I'm talking about
wonderful.
from the start of the campaign.
Oh, by the way, you guys can hear the recap music?
No.
Oh, is that recap music?
And Foundry is playing recap music.
This one.
Adjust your volume controls so you can hear some music when I'm playing it.
Oh yeah, I should probably add that as a sound source.
I would be careful with that.
Oh,
You know,
true.
a lot of this music are not royalty free.
Okay, never mind. No sound source.
Especially my exquisite Hurdy collection. I wanted to pay that guy royalty, but it's impossible.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
reading.
I would have to play Hans Zimmer a lot of royalty for my campaign.
Yeah.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
And Bethesda.
Yeah, true.
Man, what the hell? All right, so at the start of the last session, we headed out of the other entrance to Mithril Hall, where we're faced with the crossing of a huge gorge via a sturdy, well-constructed bridge. As we make our way across and we're proceeding to exit from the hall entirely, we are told that there seems to be a messenger for us. So we take a little detour and we are led to a compound that is carved into the walls of the mountain itself, which appears to be a guardhouse for the eastern entrance of Mithril Hall, where we're told to go in. However, we should not get too close to said individual lest they carry the plague. So we approach cautiously and eventually come face to face with this individual, with this messenger that we've been informed of. His face is lined with deep lines of age. He's wearing a long black robe with a simple hood and is resting laid back on a stone bench. This is Brother Marwin, who is a dwarf carrying the symbol of the One. Brother Marwin informs us that he had recently come across Bane and his band on the travels of he and his brothers as they were aiming to spread the faith, the belief in the One towards all of the dwarven cities. He then informs us that they actually ended up healing Bane of his wounds, and that Bane mentioned to them that he was heading further down south in order to pursue Ashgrave, and that if Brother Marwin or any of his other brothers were to come across us, that we should be informed of Bane's travels towards the south, potentially towards Waterdeep. The brothers themselves actually come from Waterdeep, and they begin to regale us of the tales of the recovery of the city since the attack of the undead.
I wasn't here
You
for
okay?
this.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Waterdeep is doing well. Yeah.
Okay.
Regale us with the tales of Waterdeep and the city's slow but gradual road towards recovery. We then continue our travels, making our way back to Kelb and Silvery Moon in order to see if we can get an update from Lady Illustria, as well as take care of a few more affairs within the Ashglade territories. And as we're heading down towards the forest, coming down from the mountains, Finn stops and pauses for a moment and looks off into the distance as he's able to see mist rising up. The mist appears to be created by something large, a waterfall perhaps. His gaze lingers on that spot for a few moments before eventually catching up with the rest of his party and moving onwards towards the forest. After a long, hard day of travel, we eventually find a place to rest and then begin to take it in turns to watch. After concluding her turn, Emma falls into a deep slumber and she begins to dream. She dreams that she's in a forest that seems to be enveloping her alongside darkness. Whilst in the midst of this envelopment, she hears ominous whispers saying, "Betrayer, betrayer, you are the betrayer's daughter. You are not welcome here." Emma then wakes up in a start and begins to seek comfort in her trusted companion, her pet cat, Mora. They
He
begin
is
to
a
discuss that
friend.
her trusting companion and friend, her pet cat, Mora. She confides in him, and Mora begins to just comfort Emma, and tells her not to worry, and that she should get, she should proceed to try and get a good night's sleep. The following day, we then continue onwards, pressing on back towards our journey of Kelb and Silvery Moon. And in the process, we come across an abandoned ruin that, after fully exploring, as you know, there has to be some sort of loot here. Adrish finds a cash drop, which is a place where unsavory individuals might leave valuables for others to pick up. Unfortunately enough for us, it isn't empty. We come across 200 pieces of gold, an odd crystal known as a Feywild shard, a bag of gold dust, and a ring. We then continue on with our journey for the rest of the day. After and then proceed to rest, where each of us take it in turns to watch and again question what exactly it is that we're doing, where exactly it is that we're going, and why. And that's all I've got in my notes. I don't know if I missed anything else major.
Nothing major. The only thing is Emma's dream wasn't in a forest necessarily. It was on one of the Fey crossroads that you have
Okay,
crossed. It was Brother Morvin, as we corrected it, because because why the fuck not?
We don't know what Marvin.
Yeah, it's not Marvin. It's Morvin because apparently there was a Marvin before, and you guys questioned if it's the same Marvin. It's not. It's
Betrayal.
Morvin.
Betrayal.
And you have reached Silvery Moon in the early hours of the 19th of Flame Rule, and you were ushered through the gate where a long line of people were waiting. Apparently, the requirements for quarantine is still in place for Silvery Moon. The people needs to who wants to press through needs to stay enclosed until it's certain that they do not carry the arcane wasting, especially people who are capable of magical casting. But it seems that your arrival was awaited, as Illustrial has instructed the guards that once you arrive, to be immediately taken to the High Palace,
Hey, I have a
as
question.
the Cerberus is looking for you. We finished up the session with Emma trying to remember what the Cerberus is and rolling a 9, which was in fact not enough. So, let us go to Silvery Moon.
Hey,
Yeah.
how are we going to navigate? Do we just leave that for now?
Sorry.
Uh, do we just leave Dawn for now?
I don't know what you mean.
Okay, alright.
I literally have no idea what you mean.
Oh, I was talking about how do you want us to like discuss, our friend and his entanglement.
However you wish.
Alright, fair enough.
It is that is how we're all these lovely gentlemen joining us. Do not change the story, but do not change our shenanigans, right,
Alright,
guys?
that's fair enough.
All right. So you have approached Silvery Moon through at the Moor Gate. Here, the guard of this gate have informed you of this order for you to be taken to the High Plaza as soon as you arrive. As he is not able to leave his post, he sends 2 guards to escort you across the city. You once again walk along the long, winding roads of Silvery Moon. The now familiar tall towers with twisting peaks and little parapets. A city more natural than any other that you've seen. The roads aren't straight; they're like long rivers winding around buildings. Many corners rounded it like a river would have filed down the edges. Many trees grow alongside the road, making sure that you know that this city is very close to nature itself. The 2 guards are marching beside you, but they don't seem to urge you on to move faster. It seems that they are just making sure that people don't block your way moving forward. What do you do?
Hmm.
Sorry, can you repeat that last time? Sorry.
So the guards are escorting you across the city.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to urge you on to move fast or anything. They are just making sure that moving carts and people are not blocking your way. They're giving you giving you sort of this air of authority that you have things to do and people shouldn't and be in your way.
Yeah, we'll just follow along, I guess. We can see where they're leading us, right? It's not like we're being taken to a place where we weren't supposed to go.
Alice, right?
Yeah, you're sort of walking around this main boulevard across the northern bank towards the market, where you're going to cross the market and head towards the High Palace.
Okay.
My question of what you're doing was more along that are you talking to yourself? Are you talking to guards? Are you looking at the city?
Does the city's mood seem similar?
Huh?
Do people look like generally more worried than they were, or does it seem like life just has gone back to what it was before?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah, sure, I'm great at those.
You're not exhausted anymore.
That helps a little bit. Nope.
It's difficult to pick up the mood for you. You're, the the city seems unchanged to your eyes, but although you only seen it in the absolute roars of panic when an enormous monster was attacking and in the heightened feel of a festival. So it's quite difficult to really judge what is the natural state of the city. But there are people walking around on the streets, the shops are open.
I'll just follow along.
Yeah.
I'll turn to Finn, and I'll say, "No, it doesn't look that much different. I hope Doran's keeping well. I've heard from him in a while."
I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll get a chance to be able to speak to him when we get to the palace.
Yeah, better be around still. Hope he's not moved on. Oh,
I doubt it. He and the lady seem very close.
yeah, Lustriel did look upon him favorably.
Also, where's Doran gonna go that he's gonna be able to learn as much as here?
I mean, the most he could learn is the library in his pocket, but that he takes with him everywhere. Anyway, might as well see what the Lady of Silvery Moon wants with us.
Maybe we can finally get some answers.
Eh, I wouldn't count on it. We'll continue on.
Yes, you walk along the wide boulevard of this main street, passing by some taverns that bring up great memories of the festival. You know, the
Eh,
you know the one where Emma dressed up as a displacer beast, Finn was masquerading as an Atin, and what was that Drish as?
I'd have no recollection of this.
Maybe that's another memory that the orb has taken away.
It's disappeared.
We all got like drunk.
When everybody asks me about it, I tell them, yeah, that it was the orb that took their memory away, not my own consciousness that replaced it.
But as you walk through the city, you reach the market. It is the end of the 10 day, and the market is quite lively. You see a lot of people shopping from stalls or selling their produce and their creations from little carts that they push around, or the entire wagon is opened on one side, showing the creations that they are brought along the Silvery Moon from the farthest reaches of the north, or even beyond. As you walk, you notice that one of the guard is quite agitated. He's sort of fidgeting as he walks by you. He sort of gripping the handle of his spear and glancing towards you almost nervously.
Ah,
He's a young human man, probably not even 18. But he is wearing the uniform of the Army of Silvery Moon, or at least it is emblazed on the chest plate that he's wearing.
that is concerning.
Is it just Emma that notices?
No, it's quite obvious for all of you.
And where is he in front of us?
No, he's one of the guard who's walking beside you.
I turn to him and say, "Is everything okay?"
Yes, everything is okay. It's just it's an honor.
Seem okay. Seem very nervous.
I never thought I could be escorting the famous Aegis.
Wait, what?
I
We're
I
not
wasn't
right?
in the battle. I was stationed on the wall, but I seen the fires when you fought that giant creature, and you saved the city.
It wasn't us, it was the Lady of Silvery Moon. We were just there, like most other soldiers.
Oh,
Yeah, we just did what we could to help.
Exactly.
but you are heroes.
As are all the soldiers who fought in that fight.
Uh,
Facing
Yeah, but but everybody knows about you.
People choose to remember what they want.
And it's amazing to have both you and Cerberus in Silvery Moon at once.
Um, I've heard the Cerberus be mentioned before, but I'm sorry. Who who is Cerberus?
You never heard of Cerberus?
I may
I'm
have.
I'm sorry. I'm not really from around here, sir.
Oh, they are famous as much as you, or even more. They saved Silvery Moon. Well, not Silver. They saved Waterdeep.
Waterdeep.
They yes, they apparently some horrid plot was made in Waterdeep to to crumble the city, its systems, and topple its leadership. But they they saved the entire city by exposing this plot and defeating the horrid people behind it.
Those I have.
They
Oh.
they were even awarded the crescent moon of silvery of Jesus. Why am I fucking this say silvery moon? The silvery moon is in the mine. Sorry. They were even awarded the crescent moon of Waterdeep. These three heroes. Oh, I wish I could have met them, but they went to the High Palace so fast. They haven't left since they arrived.
Well, I mean, if you're with us, maybe you'll get a chance to meet them.
Oh, I I
Sure,
was
we could
ordered to
probably try to pull. No
I was
promises.
I was ordered to return to the gate as soon as we reach the High Palace, but maybe I can get a glance of them when you're at the gate.
Potentially. What's your
Which
name?
Or,
which gate
or
are you stationed?
at the Moor Gate.
Noted. I'll
Well,
just I'll
maybe
smile.
maybe you see him sort of rummage around his belt, and from a pouch pulls out this small piece of parchment. Maybe you could get something, get them to write me something.
I'll try.
And his face just lights up.
I know you're never gonna try. Why are you lying to this kid?
Of course I'm going to try, Adrist.
I whispered to the kid.
It's
Don't
what
worry.
I do.
I'll make sure to remind her.
We will see.
So, in the meanwhile, you manage to cross the market, leaving behind the hustle and bustle of the merchants and the noise and smell cavalcade. And you pass through the beside the temples and reach the High Palace. It is just as you remember, with its high walls and spiraling towers and blue roof shingles. There are more guards stationed at the entrance, and as you approach, they step to the side and open the gate.
I suppose.
We can't hear you, by the way, DM. You
Yeah,
are muted.
I was wondering if it was just me, but
Not just you.
Did you mute yourself? Is he lagging?
Oh,
Hig?
You're
Maybe
muted.
maybe
Discord is
maybe
Discord.
he can. Yeah,
Do you need to change your voice chat?
we might need to.
No, wait a second.
Or Hig.
And he's gone.
Huh.
You stopped talking after the gate opened or something.
Yeah, the gate opened.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we
That
can.
was weird.
Gate open.
Discord just stopped working for a moment. Sorry, when did I cut out?
After the gate
The gate
opened.
opened.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you walk through the gate and find yourself once again on the beautiful garden inside the palace walls. You see the two guards who escorted you to the palace walk back towards the gate, leaving you behind, and the gate is closed behind you. To your right, once again, there is the guest house where you were stationed before, and ahead, the tall towers and spiraling uh, roofs of the high palace. Ahead, there are the tall wooden doors that you know lead into the audience chamber of Lady Alustria. And on the stairs heading down, his little flip flop sandals clapping against his feet, approaches the grand advisor of Alustria Silverhand. I wonder if you guys remember his name.
Idris, this one's
Silverhand,
on you.
There is no shot.
I wanna say Manfred, but it's not. Wait, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Is
I
their
got it, I
chat
got it, I got it.
up? Like,
I got it.
Okay.
Brett,
chat is up, but no one's.
Yes, Gonny remembers. This is none other than Fredegar Rockcrusher, better known as Fred the Sage, the right hand of Alustria Silverhand. So,
How
yeah.
could I forget the right hand of Illustrial Silverhand?
Easily.
Very easily. It was.
Come on, guys.
I'm speaking from Idris.
I thought we installed a new right hand of Lady Illustrial Silverhand.
No, that's a
that's-
left
I
hand.
had to answer, bro.
Yep, that's definitely the left hand. In any case, Fred
more
approaches you and reaches out a hand towards the one of you is in the front.
I will
Oh,
shake his
sorry,
hand.
what did I say?
Nice to
good
see you.
to see you all. It's been a while.
It has.
Still alive, I see.
We're trying. How are you,
Fortunately.
Brett?
Good. City still stands. No cultist activity as far as we can see. Almost back to normalcy, I guess. Except for many things that are not normal at all, ever. But maybe that is the normal in Silvery Moon.
That's a good sign. How is the lady and Doran?
My elbow.
He seems to look around and does that fit you?
No.
How odd.
We assumed he was still here.
Oh, no, he's not. But lady knows more about that. Follow me.
Alright. Following with a pep in my step.
But once again, he starts leading you up the staircase. His beautiful white robes swish around his feet as his little sandals are clopping against his bare feet.
They're clopping.
Well,
They're like flip flops,
like,
bro.
yeah, it's basically flip flops.
If you need
he's
a
a dwarf.
description of what flip flops look like, I can go grab mine.
But yeah, I wish he could wear Crocs, but Crocs are such a high engineered future tech that we can't have him wear Crocs. Maybe in another campaign.
He could design the Crocs.
Oh, if we only had someone with an ingenious mind and power to create, we could give Fred Crocs. Hashtag give Fred Crocs.
We need to go find Belrin.
I mean, hey,
All
you
right.
can just make.
This is all he's useful for.
Yes.
In any case, he leads you through the main gate, but instead of heading through the audience hall, which you see is quite empty at this right now, he quickly turns to the right and begins leading you down the long corridors that leads to the ladies' private chambers.
Wonderful.
As you pass by the many doors and windows that look over the city, Brett is quite silent and walking along, but He seems to hum a jolly tune under his breath as you walk by, until you finally reach a familiar door to one of those meeting rooms, or study rooms rather, that you've met the lady before. Fred knocks on the door twice, and when you hear a soft female voice calling for entry, Fred opens the door to the chamber. In the chamber, you see soft leather sofas. Well, not leather, but soft sofas with fabric covering them. A low table stacked high with books and scrolls, as well as simple wooden bookshelves covering most walls. There are 3 large windows across from the entrance, and a large fireplace to the right, where a very small fire is burning, more to create an ambience than to provide real heat. In the chamber, there are 3 people. Lady Illustrial sitting on one of those cushioned sofas, drinking from a small goblet, and 2 other figures. One of them pacing across the in front of the window in striding steps, stopping at each end and turning. The other sort of leaning back against one of the sofas, but not sitting down. Leaning against the sofa, but not sitting down.
Do we recognize these figures?
No, but I think we could get a somewhat better description of them.
Oh,
So, who is leading?
You cut out again, Hig.
and- holy shit, Artie! That's one hell of a beard. I'm sorry. I have to periodically keep tapping back into Discord.
I'm so jealous.
God damn it! Fucking
I don't
Discord.
think we can hear Emma either. Well, at least I can't.
Wait, you can't? I can hear her.
Squirrel, speak up.
Oh,
Hello.
she did cut out.
What?
Wait, you're back. You're back. You're back.
I was sighing.
Can you hear that?
Sorry.
I can't hear her.
Huh.
Yeah, one of them definitely heard that. That's a
Definitely.
trademark. That's a trademark. Trust me.
I heard that. Okay,
What's
so,
happening?
okay, let's
might
do
try,
test sound.
might want to try reconnecting it. So now I fixed it.
Are we moving to the other voice chat?
Paul, you're muted on Discord, just so you know.
How embarrassing.
On the server that is referred to as doing a Bellwind.
Yes.
Yeah, trust me. It's very close to being referred to doing a Gonny as well.
Yeah, we had a player before who constantly forgot to unmute himself, and after like 20 minutes of discussion, he was like, "Oh fuck, I forgot I muted myself."
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, "Yep, it's doing a Valorant."
Yeah. I'm going to be doing that, so you know.
Ah,
That's right.
fun.
So I cut
Wait,
out
can you
again.
hear her
Sure.
again?
Can you hear us, Stilton?
I can
hear
hear all
anybody?
of you, but Emma.
Except me?
Wait,
Did
still?
you,
Huh.
did you mute her by mistake?
I'm checking and it doesn't look like I did. No, everything.
Give me a
is-
moment.
Did you turn down her volume?
Why don't both of you just disconnect and reconnect
That's
once?
what I was gonna
And
do.
that's probably gonna fix it. What I did, I turned my phone into a fucking webcam.
You turned your
I
phone
love your
into.
red wall.
Oh, hey!
You see, it's a
You're
red
also
wall.
the only one
Big
the
red
stream
wall.
can see at the moment because I formatted it to like fit Paul.
Wait, what? They can just see Audie.
Yes, they just see us glowing.
Bro, Audie about to be #1 trending on Twitch.
Not
I think I'm
Twitch.
going- I think I'm going to turn off the webcams on Foundry
All right.
because I think they are causing significant lag on the server.
Okay.
So
Hello?
Alright.
Yeah, you might have to reconnect.
Yeah,
after this.
that's.
I can hear you, Gone.
Ah, okay, cool. You guys like all froze.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna reconnect. Thing in general.
Okay. Who can we hear now?
No?
Let's do a roll call. Dilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, everybody heard
Move
that?
Your
Yep.
mic. Can you move your mic closer?
Yup.
Hello, hello, hello.
It's easier to
Okay.
hear.
Everyone can hear Paul?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
Hi.
Squirrel?
Why?
She's making noises. Can you hear her?
Okay,
Alright, cool.
alright.
I fixed it.
Let me just
I can hear everybody
go
else.
put this diamond of a beautiful boy in memes. Because that's
Alright.
what the camera filter looked. Let me hop back on the server.
Alright.
It just it frames it perfectly.
Anyway, we were doing intros, right?
Yeah. So, as I was saying, one of the figures is leaning against the one of the sofas, but not sitting. The other one is pacing up and down in front of the window, stopping at one and then turning around. But to give a description, I think there's someone would be doing better describing themselves. So who's the one leaning against the sofa but not sitting?
I am leaning.
So who is that handsome fellow leaning against?
What you see is a halfling male with kind of pinky violet hair, robes that are in a azure and pink. Very few items. I do have what looks like a crystalline hilt of a weapon, but there's no actual blade. And I'm leaning and trying to look calm, even though I'm quite tired. Shall I show you what I look like?
I don't need. I can do this.
Oh, oh, oh! That's what I look like. There you go.
Ooh. Dreamy.
Don't show that to Alpha,
And he's
please, for
Yo,
like
does-
my safety.
Does Finn have a brother now?
We found another halfling.
That
No, he's not a halfling. I don't know why he said
I'm a half
halfling.
elf.
Oh,
Sorry,
half
did I say
elf.
halfling? I said
Yeah,
half
you said
elf.
halfling.
Elf.
Oh.
Oh,
I was
oh.
like, that is
No,
the most
no.
like square jawlined halfling I've ever seen in my life.
Wait,
Come on, Emma. You have Adelaide. Emma,
It's a
Adelaide
foundry.
exists.
I showed it to play, but I think that you weren't on it yet.
Bro, why am I getting kicked out of Foundry again?
Here you go.
I think he's still
Away.
not here.
You have
He
to
doesn't
just
have a
assume his ears are slightly pointier. I couldn't make them pointier when I tried to do it.
Put it in the artwork chat.
Oh,
Funny,
man,
check it out.
my laptop is.
Here, I'll post it.
Discord is discordant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Nah, I'm
turned
on my
I
phone,
turned
I'm on
off the
my phone right
cameras
now.
because I think that was causing issues.
Oh,
Oh, it started reloading as you.
Yeah,
went
it
to the-
did.
Yeah, because I turned off the cameras. I think that was, it's a nice
Oh,
idea, but I'm running the server on like a micro machine, an online micro machine, and it's not
Ah,
happy
okay.
about it.
interesting.
That's fair. Hey.
It's doing great, but I don't want to expect this much out of it.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Oh, damn, this put a fine.
There's a reason I kept repeating Adelaide exists.
Yo, I'm looking at
Em.
Emma like, I'm like, yo, Emma, like, you're in a committed hell.
This game has
deep.
ways of proving me wrong about me being a lesbian.
Oscar, you
Damn.
literally hit on every single of my female NPCs. So,
This brother said the force has been awakened. Do you know what I mean?
but yeah, that is the handsome fellow
Yeah.
leaning against uh, the the cushioned sofa, trying to look casual, but still looking exhausted and somewhat worried. Now, the other one, who is hiding his worries a bit less effectively, who is pacing rapidly from one end to the other of the window, now stops and looks towards you as you enter through the door. Who is that other handsome fellow?
On some, I'm not sure. But you see someone wearing full-on plate armor that looks quite well made and quite consistent. Everything looks like it's part of the same set, but one arm, the right arm, is darker. It kind of there's a shimmer on it, and it definitely doesn't look like it's part of the same thing. It seems a little bit robotic in a way, kind of like it seems somehow too small to be containing an arm inside. And you can see on his face, on the right side of his face, from the neck, from the armor up, there is a really big scar that seems that it's some kind of maybe frost damage or it's starting to gangrene a little bit. It's blackened. The rest of the face is this a lot of scars on it, but it's still like not as touch as the right side.
Grizzled looking fellow.
Oh.
Wait, do we get this image as well?
Yeah, it's a foundry.
Damn!
Damn, the profile as well!
Dreamboat number 2.
That is crazy! Ah, no, Finley some higher side. That's wild, bro.
Damn.
Listen, the point of D&D is fantasy, and in my fantasy, everybody is fucking model.
It's
There you
super
go.
hot.
Nah, the next
Except-
character I'm making is gonna be a bad. Oh, no, you don't know, bro.
Except I have a dude coming up.
Oh, God.
Hot.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, passing through the door is 3 individuals that you, Esper and Silvio, spot. All 3 of them are very different from one another, but they do enter as a single unit, seemingly knowing each other well. Leading the trio is this somewhat tall halfling, taller than most halfling that you've ever seen,
Yes, sir.
built like a tank, extremely muscular and chiseled. He's wearing a shimmeringly, almost white metal plate armor, as well as this odd backpack that seem to have all sorts of attachment hanging from its sides and back. He doesn't seem to carry any kind of weapons on him, which is quite odd because he's clearly some sort of warrior. Behind him enters a lovely young woman of elven heritage. Which season are we in, Emma? Should we just roll for it?
Okay, yeah.
All right. Roll me a d8. Up for
Oh.
d4. D4 is fine as well.
1.
So that is autumn.
Is that the
Let's
one?
see.
What's
let's
my
see,
description for autumn?
Give me a moment. Oh, that's a pink-haired one. So yeah, there's 2 pink-haired
Oh.
people now in the. So yeah, the woman has an odd, almost pinkish red-colored hair, porcelain white skin, and piercing brown eyes. She's much taller than the halfling man, but she's quite thin, almost almost too thin for her own frame.
Uh-huh.
And behind her enters the last figure, this old human man. He's quite tall and lean as well, but you see on his face decades of struggle and hurt. His hair is going gray in many places. These long strands of gray hair mixing in with the dark black, and he's missing one eye. His right eye is seemingly being gouged out and replaced by this odd purple shimmering orb where you see as if it's filled with liquid swirling around in his eye socket.
Uh-huh.
Lady Illustria. Um,
Oh, you're finally here. I was
yes,
worried. I think introductions are in order.
Oh, yeah.
These gentlemen were looking for you. You must have heard of them.
Oh.
They are the groups, the Cerberus.
Oh,
Heard of them we
Oh,
have.
that makes a
We
lot
have.
of sense now.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
And these lovely people who have saved my city became known as Aegis.
Oh,
Yes, we've heard of you as well.
Yeah, we heard of you.
yes, we know every. I heard at the gate that there was somebody called Cerberus here. I am so sorry. I have.
Yeah, no,
Forgive addressed. His
But,
mind is a bit addled in his holding.
Red Alert.
But Lord Ashglade, where is Doran?
Doran? Wasn't he? He chose to remain here. He said that he had some business with you.
Yes, he stayed for quite a while. It was very
He did leave the bastard.
Fucking
yes.
ass.
He was a guest with me.
She's in love. Look at the way he's got this baddie fumbling her words. Oh no, this Dorian guy's crazy.
Yeah.
But he left near 10 days ago.
Did he say it for where?
He borrowed a horse, but the horse returned 2 days later with a note from him saying that he will not be needing it anymore. I thought he met up with you.
No,
That
he
is
did not,
concerning.
in fact, meet up with us. Did he? Did he say that he was looking for us?
No, he just borrowed a horse and left one morning. The guards didn't even ask why he needed it.
Hmm.
Was there a reason for him to want to leave the city? I thought you were well, engaging in some research together.
Yes, we tried to figure out more information about the cult's goals and activities, and as well as the possible source of the arcane anomaly and the arcane wasting, but well, that research is still ongoing by many of my best people.
Hey, how does Illustra look as she's talking right now?
She's sort of clutching that goblet with both hands, and she's not really looking at you, but more looking at that big pile of books and scrolls that are in front of her on the low table.
Oh. This is a surprise. But where are my manners? I am Adrish Einsfog. I am with a group called Aegis, as you've probably heard. This is my friend, Lady Emma Koriak from
I
Waterdeep,
curtsy.
and this here is Finn. Finn Flowwind.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
pleasure.
hey, why are you laughing, bro?
Or just just RD needed to check your name.
No, I didn't need to check his name. I was just thinking we never mentioned his name. It's always just Finn.
So you did need.
I'm sorry. You said your name was Dilson and Esper?
No. Uh, yes, I'm Esper. This is Silvio.
Silvio. Okay.
Call me
No, no,
Seal.
no.
Yeah, Dilson, you might want to swap the name.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Discord.
Don't worry about it.
Will.
My name's Esper Navitas. Yeah, we have heard of you. We have been looking for you.
Why?
Honestly, we've been on your tail for weeks. I'm going to pull out the amulet of the many-faced amulet thing.
Oh,
I'll pull out my many-face amulet of the thing.
I just
they start, they start
nod in
shining and
understanding.
spinning, and the
I'll get the
Is it-
exact name. The many-faced amulet. That's what it was.
as the tip starts, the sparks go off.
Oh God.
Wait, so you were looking for us? Why
Indeed.
exactly?
Because we have heard of you and we thought we could pool our resources. There's only two of us. We heard that there was four, well, maybe three of you.
There were 5 of us. One of us, Doran, apparently has ventured out somewhere and gone missing,
Apparently
Which-
so.
I see.
which
We
might.
have lost people too.
Well, we haven't lost people. They just go missing from time to time.
As you say this, Adrisht, you see sort of a shadow pass over both of their faces.
That's why they call it Cerberus. The third one's gone. It is gone.
Oh,
But
I don't say that out loud. That's just.
we heard about your.
So why exactly
we
you
heard
guys are
about
called
what you-
Cerberus?
Sorry?
Why are you guys called ages? Are you really old? Just kidding. I know it's a different kind of ages. But we should probably meet up properly. We are exhausted. Our horses are almost dead to try and catch up with you. We keep missing you.
How did they know
Oh,
about
God.
the desert attack?
Esper, you my friend, you think you have horses?
Oh no.
oh no.
I specifically
Oh!
did not tell you what kind of steed you're riding.
Bruh.
Oh
My
no.
bad. What were we riding? They looked like horses for a minute, but then I realized they were.
Well, when you ventured in the far north and had your adventures in Icewind Dale, you picked up 2 of their famed riding X-Beaks.
Oh, it's even better. I love that.
Yeah.
What is a riding
Our
X beak?
Axbeaks were almost killed.
What is their names? What are their names?
Mine is called Flower.
Oh, Flower. That's a nice name for a X-Peak. I don't know what that is. Sorry.
Do I know what
Mine
that
is
is?
called Rhyme.
Sorry, Vine?
Rhyme.
Rhyme.
Rhyme and flower.
Oh, but you said you've been tailing us. You've heard about us, and but like, how did you hear about us? Was it in Silvery Moon, or was it when did you hear about us?
Well, when we were in, we should, you know what? We should probably have this conversation maybe over some food.
Yeah, you
Yes.
guys seem
Let's-
tired. Maybe we should find a place to rest. Sorry for disturbing you, Lady Alicia.
Since you've been begin talking, Azura didn't really move or do anything. She, as you mentioned, food and rest. She places the goblet on the low table and stands up. Yes, yes. I shall have something arranged for you. You may use this room as long as you see fit.
No, Lady
Yes.
Illustrial, I do have more questions for you though before you leave.
I shall return in some time, Lord Ashglade.
I hate when you call me that. Just call me Adrish.
And why ever would we do that, my lord?
Adrish, you
And you see
see
Emma just trying to contain a fucking smile.
Alustriel look
Finn is
a bit
dying.
pale and worried. But as you sort of joke about your name, you do see a slight smile pass along on her face. But she says to you, um, well, well, I do have to give the respect for the lords and ladies who pledged their allegiance to my city. I shall return later, but there's something I must attend to.
I'm going to send a telepathic message to Silvio and say, "Fuck me, Crazy Eyes is a lord. The one with the crazy eye. We shouldn't ask about the eye, right? All I want to do is ask about the eye. I won't mention the eye. We won't mention the eye. But he's a lord. Crazy Eyes is a lord."
And I'm gonna respond like always laconically. Yeah, no, don't say anything, please.
What was his second name? Lord something? We just call him Lord. He doesn't want to be called Lord. He said his name was Dresht or Adresht, as in Adresht, as adrift. Anyway, we'll figure it out. I can't believe this is the ages. Not what I expected.
Let's just go with the flow. I'm sure that we don't look like what people expect of us.
I kind of thought they'd be taller.
You
I'm
know,
6'4".
Finn seizes.
And you haven't met Wave.
The thing is,
Definitely not.
Emma is freakishly tall.
And you haven't even
I
met
kinda
Finn
thought-
yet, honestly.
Yeah.
Kind of thought that the rest of them would be taller.
Well,
she looks like
yes,
she can handle herself.
that definitely, she is the tallest of the bunch. But yeah, with that, Adrish, Alustriel sort of turns her away and walks out of the room, closing the door behind her.
It is our honor to meet you, Lord and ladies.
Please
You're-
don't do that.
Or just
No.
one Lord.
No, just Adrish.
I'll just bow.
Feel free to just call me Emma.
Esper, I'm not sure if you read it in the text that I sent you earlier, but you know about this
Yeah, we
woman,
did. Yep.
Lady
You know about
Emma
this?
Koriak.
Oh yeah, that is famous.
But you haven't heard of this Lord Ashglade, Einsfog, whatever, weird eye man. But apparently he's a lord here. In any case, you're quite tired, and now that the people you've been chasing arrived, both of you sort of settle on the cushioned couch beside the low table. And
We should really exchange notes. You must know so much that we don't.
And likewise, I'm
Oh, okay,
sure
it's my time to shine.
Yeah.
as long as you're fighting the cult, you're allies to us.
Well, yeah. I mean, our fighting skills are not as we're working on them, but
I mean,
yeah,
fighting the cult
we're
in a
doing our best.
metaphorical sense. I'm not saying necessarily physically fighting the cult. That's
Yeah. Oh, that cult.
the cult.
You hate them.
We do.
But,
Yeah.
those damn cultists.
we're sort of not we've avoided them a little bit in places where maybe we would have gotten overwhelmed, but we've also helped out where we could, like in Red Larch. I don't know if you heard, but anyway, we have heard all about you, and we had friends in Waterdeep. I actually, Silvio is from Waterdeep.
Oh,
Silvio, why am I talking so much?
Well, that's what you like to do, so I'll let you do it. Yes, I am from Waterdeep indeed, and I heard that you were
What
too.
part?
Oh well, the Trace Ward. I mean, my parents are from there.
she's also from Waterdeep, not the Trace Ward, though. No way. It's probably upper, higher,
Oh,
bigger rooms.
Well, We also have a place in the castle ward with some friends of ours. We have
That's
there.
where
Ah.
she's from.
I was just saying quiet.
Emma, you can't hide from this, Lady Emma Koreak of Waterdeep. Anyway, more important things. Notes to compare. Yes, that is important. Since when have you been chasing this cult? And again, where exactly did you hear about us?
Oh,
Well, it was actually when we came back to Waterdeep and saw that
That
the
would
thing
make
that
sense.
happened there.
Was
obviously-
it Emma's brother who told you?
No, it was my friend who lived there. I mean, we arrived when everything was being rebuilt.
Ah,
At rest, I doubt it would be Lysander.
I mean, they're trying to help. We were helping Lysander in particular, and he was in charge of the defense of the city. It wouldn't be
True,
too
but
far
he's
because
also
I'm
my
not-
brother. Therefore, we had an in. That was more than we're trying to help.
That's true. We do get into a lot of doors because of you, don't we?
There's a reason you keep saving my life.
Oh, that's mostly because we sort of like you, but that has nothing to do with
Sorta.
your being Lady of Waterdeep. You know, daughter and the betrayer. Okay, sorry.
Addressed?
I didn't say anything. Don't look at me like that. Soon, not yet. I turned to the other.
Can I try to understand what I see here? Is it like playful banter? Is there some attraction going on? I'm trying to gauge.
They are
people.
definitely fucking.
No. Hell no!
You know, there is a very, very clear age gap.
There is no attraction, bro.
There's a very clear age gap between them, and the banter is very playful. It's it seems that these two are you know both used to receiving and giving out on each other.
Whoa!
The wording
Think
Conversation.
great
mean-
grandfather and great granddaughter.
I know what I said.
I know you know what you said. That makes it worse.
Well, I'm sorry, guys. You know.
Sure.
Jesus,
He
hey, you made
pretends.
me
He
choke
pretends.
on air.
Anyway, I'm gonna turn to Gani and say, you want to compare? I feel like you're the best one to compare notes. I would just
Probably.
misremember half the things. Or
I'm already
defend,
feeling
sorry.
bad.
And I kind of did give my.
Oh, here's my journal, and it's just pictures.
It's a picture book.
It's straight up a picture book. There's a really pretty elven woman in there. There's a nice child in there.
Can I just Can I just ask Mora if he wants ear scratches?
Oh, by the way, speaking of Mora, on my shoulder you see sitting a rather colorful and large bird. Do you have a picture of Hope Hick?
Of course I do.
Wait, why
This
are you
here
asking
is
Hig
Hope.
if he has a picture of Hope? Don't you have a picture of Hope?
No, Hig made Hope. It wasn't me.
That's fair. Hig also made.
Right.
I guess my question is, what do you guys know already?
Oh
and
wait,
where can
while
I fill
while
in the gap
while
for
we're
you?
still doing this, Finn, while we're still doing this, on my other shoulder, just come out, and you see, sitting on my other shoulder, an imp.
Let's hope again.
Hope is pretty.
Here you go.
And yeah, that
You have the
is-
photo
that is
of
Zed.
Mora too, don't you?
That's Hope and Zed. if you see them around, don't be too scared. They're nice. Well, Hope is, Zed is, whatever he is.
So, as you begin to discuss, the door opens and a couple servants come in. One of them is pushing this little cart that is filled with some food and drinks. The other one quickly clears down the scrolls and books from the low table, and swift, well, not really a feast, but one like an afternoon tea is set up for you.
Thank you so
I
much.
partake
That's very, very
thoroughly.
Oh, there's scones and
As
crumpets.
do I.
Sure.
I'll eat anything that's not dwarven right now.
It's it's the little three-tier trays with at the top you have the scones, a layer below you have the little tray bakes, and the bottom you have the sandwiches. No crust.
Ah, finger food.
Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
to, while this food comes in, I'd like to make sure that there's nobody else in this area who's about to hear us discussing everything that we know. So I'd like to search for any hidden individuals, and using detect thoughts, I'd like to detect the presence of thinking creatures I can't see. So making sure that there's nobody invisible hidden here as well.
Oh god, does he
Alright.
just think. Does he just text Mora?
Guys, we're getting range to the party, and I'm here for it.
So-
He's like visibly casting magic, right? Or is it like
Can't
just
get on.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
Visibly just walking around, just looking about to make sure there's nobody
Ooh,
hidden behind the awnings or whatever.
Munching on a sandwich.
Yeah. Mm. Sausage rolls.
pretty cool?
So, you extend your thoughts throughout the room, and once the servants are out, you detect the three intelligence creatures on the sofa, as well as your friend. You feel sorry, I'm just reading the spell to be exact. So thoughts with the hit of you that a creature with intelligence of 3 or lower. I'm just speaking of it. And while you do detect the bird sitting on Adrish's shoulder, you feel nothing from the now invisible the imp turned invisible while the servants came in, but now it turned back. But you feel nothing from it, as if you're looking at a blank slate.
Question: does he feel anything? Okay, sorry, not my place to ask.
But these are all the presences that you've noticed. Well, it's quite odd that the imp provides you nothing, really, just nothing. You're just sitting there
Okay.
with bug eyes, but no thoughts,
there's
but
really
no other.
Okay.
You
What do
detect
you,
no.
what do you
Actually,
think about
actually,
I'm
Esper, give me a divine
right.
guidance roll.
in this room right now?
What's a divine guidance roll?
A divine guidance roll is something I call upon, where you roll with your divine guidance scroll. You can click on your manifest amulet, and basically, based on the roll, it might change things in the world. It is sort of like a luck roll that I call upon sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, good enough. You detect something else. Something else coming from the inside of that odd backpack Finn is wearing. But it's very faint and quite ununderstandable. It is almost as if not a creature was there, but something else that registered on your detection.
Wait,
Okay. I will shift my focus to Silvio, and I will let him know all of those things and say, I don't know
Oh.
what's up with that halfling's backpack, but there's also something weird and funky about that I'm detecting. Also, what is with Lord Crazy Eyes and his zoo animals that he's bringing with him? The imp, I get nothing from. Let's just keep an eye on it.
But if he says anything about the backpack, I'm gonna just literally turn towards the backpack and say, "Is there something weird in your backpack?"
Is there
I
something weird
mean,
in
it
our
is
backpack?
magical, so maybe. And I open the backpack.
There's a lot of shit in your backpack, dude.
There's a lot of shit in your backpack, Finn. Describe weird.
Say, is there something that can hear us that shouldn't be hearing us in your backpack?
Well, let's just list out the strange
I
shit
mean,
that you have in
there's
there.
this thing. I pull out I pull out.
We've
Ronnie?
lost Finn, I think.
Oh, I finally got on the table. Nice.
Jesus.
I put I'm just going off the top of my head. I think there's like maybe like you.
Sorry, what were you saying, Gonny? Oh, nice. 50,000 ping from Gonny.
When you say weird, what do you mean weird? And also, why would you think there's something weird in his backpack?
I'm just trying to make sure that we're not heard. We're never too sure.
We've
But how
come across
exactly
some
would you know
spies
that?
of. We have come across spies of the cult before, and we just want to be cautious.
Oh no, that's fine. I was
Okay.
just questioning the how of it all.
Oh,
You know.
like magic and stuff.
Oh, which one of you magical stuff? I'm assuming it's not the big guy in the plate armor.
Oh, you'd be wrong. He does a lot more magical stuff than me, actually.
Hmm.
I'm gonna smile.
Anyway,
So was it
the
him?
hows and the whys, we can get into the hows and whys later. We just want to make sure that we're not being, spied upon or have somebody who's poking around and hidden somewhere. And I
You
couldn't
know,
detect.
I feel like we should do that more, and we just don't. That's a bad idea. Let me do that. I'm gonna cast clairvoyance on top of my head.
Hello.
Hello.
The
Yo, I got like 5k.
Yep.
I got 50. Oh, what the?
Yep, 50k ping.
Anyway, so I continue. I pull out a lullaby book. I pull out the cube in passing. I pull out a water skin, spiked chain, a strange headpiece. Any of these doing it for you?
Okay. I will divert my attention to all of these things. Do any of them have any intelligence that I can pick up on?
So, you feel no intelligence from any of the items that he picks out. But something's odd about that cube.
Have I ever seen a cube like that before? Do I
Absolutely
understand
not.
what it is? Did I examine that cube?
So it is roughly fist size, made of this silver-like metal, and you see this crystal cluster suspended in the middle. All four of the sides of the cube are open, and
Hmm.
are you handing it over, Finn?
Precious. No. You can have a look if you want. There's nothing crazy about it. And I hand over the cube.
Lies.
Okay, I
Fucking lies.
You see
as
Adarish's
as he
face
holds.
go
Wait,
like
wait, wait. Huh? What?
You see Azir's face just go like blank, like a fucking slate when he says there's nothing crazy with it.
Finn lying?
Nah, because like the
I'm
cube
not.
itself is like inert most of the time.
Yeah, it's
I'm
non-magical.
not going to
see?
touch it.
As he inspects it, I'm gonna speak into his mind and say, why have thou disturbed me?
I have
He's
no
lying.
idea what he said.
I said, why
He's
hast
lying.
why hast thou disturbed me?
Ah.
I'm going to look at him. What
And
is
you're
Finn's deal?
very obvious that he has communicated with you mentally,
Oh yeah, I'm playing a prank on him.
and he's put on a voice in his head.
Has he cast a spell to do that?
No.
Okay. I'm going to try and get the sense of what the fuck Finn is up to because he wants me to take the cube and look at it, but I'm not going to touch the cube, and I don't know if I trust what's going on here. What's the sense I got?
He has a mischievous smile on his face.
Yeah, that's what I was about to describe. That how in your head you hear this odd gurgling whisper of dread coming from the minds of Finn, but you can't help but notice the shit-eating grin on his face that he cannot hide.
Finn's very honest.
While
I don't know what the
And what are
you're-
you doing?
I don't know what you're up to, Halfling, but I really like it. Where did you get this cube? It's bizarre.
That is a very long story. We've had this cube essentially
We
since.
got it at a library. It's not a long
Yeah.
story.
Well, yeah.
I love libraries. Which one?
The
Yeah,
Artificent
library.
Library.
Yeah, you and Doran would get on very well.
The which library?
Artificent Library. It's
An inefficient library.
Efficient.
It's very inefficient.
No, it's actually quite efficient.
The
Damn.
filing system is terrible.
No, that's
Where
an
is-
actual
Is
good
my
filing
diction
system.
that bad?
Oh wow.
Where is this library?
In
Oh,
the
what was the mountains? I don't remember the name of the mountains. It's been 2 years. Okay.
Oh bro, hang on, give me a second.
It's not even that complicated. It's the Snowflake Mountains.
Yeah, it's where all the snowflakes go.
Fair.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been with us
Um,
since the start of our journey.
I'm going to telekinetically pick up the cube and or bring it close to me without actually touching it. Do I see any arcane symbols or anything arcane about this?
Asper, could you give me a wisdom saving throw?
I
That
haven't
was
touched
quick.
it.
Yeah.
That was quick.
I know.
Okay, let me figure out how to do that.
Please, if you know anything about this,
oof.
please, I've been trying to learn as much as I can.
So, Asper,
Ooh.
as you telekinetically reach out towards the cube and with your psionic power lift it up from Finn's hand, it floats up for a second and then falls down onto the table in front of you. And you feel as if you are drained from your psionic powers for a moment. And you stagger backwards.
Whoa, are you
Asper, are
okay?
you okay?
What the fuck is that?
If he staggers backward, I'm gonna reach for him, and I'm gonna look straight at Finn and go say, "What have you done to him?"
I
Wait,
didn't
wait, wait,
do
wait, wait, wait,
anything.
wait, wait, wait. That has never happened before.
What is that thing?
It's a cube. We found it in a library. It has some magic. It had some magic shit. It's no longer in it. Right, Finn? Am I?
Well, for the most
Wait,
part,
something like that happened when you touched it first, right?
when I touched it, nothing happened. All I saw was a vision, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, that's something, to be honest.
yeah, when I came into contact with it, that specifically didn't happen. For me at least, I saw a vision of subsidiary.
Yeah, I feel drained actually. Anyway, I don't think that other I don't think there was any intelligence from that cube, but that really I feel like I'm gonna get a nosebleed.
I'm sorry. I'll make sure to keep it as far away from you as possible, and I'll take the cube and put it back in the bag.
I'm gonna look to Silvio and say out loud, I don't detect anybody else here. I'm gonna. Do you want to fill them in?
Yes, hey, I cast clairvoyance on top of my head. It sees everything in the room, any magical sensors or anything like that.
Does it need to do?
It has blind sight.
Yeah, but do you need to do a perception?
It just sees in the area around me. I don't think there's a perception check.
Yeah, unless there's a tiny invisible eyeball hidden in the topiary. No,
Wait, is there?
no. You take a look around and you see no invisible detectory organs or any kind of creature hidden or any of these sorts in the vicinity.
My eyes like flash purple for a second and then they go back to normal. We're good.
Understood.
Okay.
Well, how to start? I mean, we've been on your trail since Waterdeep, when I believe you, or as we've been told, has caused some kind of an explosion there, which somehow led to the dissipation of the disturbance.
Well, there was a ritual that was taking part in or taking place in Waterdeep. It was causing the creation of those undead creatures. We destroyed that thing and then left the armies of Waterdeep to retake the city.
For that, I'm very
When
grateful.
uh, we didn't know at the time what we were doing. It was honestly kind of a Hail Mary attempt that kind of worked out, I guess, in the long run. But honestly, we were just glad to get out of there with our lives. And honestly, kind of lucky.
Yeah, whatever you did, it worked. The city is healing now. In it left quite a it left quite a destruction, whatever happened there. But I'm glad it's over. But since then, and with these amulets and all this thing going on, yes, we've been looking for you. You're the only one that we know of that might have been on the same path as us. We followed, went from city to cities, hearing your names, searching at very thin information that we had, and here we are. And that's pretty much it.
Well, that's a lot. Uh,
I'm sorry, but why exactly were you looking for us? How did you guys come into possession of these? And I pull out my mini face amulet.
I'm gonna look at as Esper.
Well, it's a long story, but the short version of it is that we were up north for some work. We were kind of making a name for ourselves as the Cerberus, merchant work and adventuring stuff. Um, we were in Tentans for the winter, and then when the thaws came, we eventually were we met somebody who provided us with this, and our lives kind of changed, and we didn't really know what to do with it. So I went back home to Candlekeep with Sylvia, and we've been researching and learning what we can before. I'm sure, like you guys, we're not just going to just act without knowledge. So we made sure to do some research before we would make any actions.
Yeah, sure, these guys are doing that, right? Not jumping into stupid action and doing some actual, research and figuring out what they are facing. And
Yo, have you guys seen that fuck around and find out shot? Yo, that's us like, on a daily.
I mean, I'm not much of a statistician or a strategist, but it seems like from looking at the map, you guys have a curious strategy that you've been on. We weren't able to quite figure it out. It seemed there was a random element that we couldn't quite plan or account for. But then you moved north and kind of like a northeast direction, and we heard about some of that. But anyway, we've been on your trail, and I'm sure that you know that um, this cult, they're a kind of triad. There's like 3 interconnected sects and stuff. You know about that?
Yeah, we recently came into contact with the last of the 3 sects. I don't know if you've had any direct dealings with them yet,
We've had some
or
dealings
with
with
any of
the
the
cult
leadership.
in general. Which leader?
Well, at Silvery Moon, we came across this fellow known as Darius Bloodmane, and
Yeah.
he was leading this branch of the cult called the Chosen. At a short time after that, we came into contact with another known as Lord Ashgrave, and he was leading this sect called the Lords of the Grave. And then we came very recently in contact with Lady Elena Gloom in Mithril. She leads this sect called the Whisper of the Far.
We didn't know who their leader was. Who is she?
Lady Elena Gloom. Have you
Gloom.
heard that name before?
I don't think we have DM, right? We don't know that one.
yes, you have encountered these Whispers of the Far cults,
Yeah,
but
not the
you
leader.
never heard of their leader. And unfortunately, this name doesn't really ring any bells with you. You now have a name, but there's nothing you could attach to it.
I'm gonna say no. There was nothing. There was nothing in the libraries on that name.
Yeah, seems like these people are more or less unknown to the wider world. Have you heard much about the other two, Bloodbane or Ashgrave? Any details on them would also be very useful to us.
I mean, we thought we might be breaking some news about Lord Darius Bloodmane, but I guess you guys have figured that one out, and you probably already have seen their symbol, right? That they use, the symbol with all the. You've seen that?
I believe so.
Well, we haven't
That
done.
is,
We the records of Candlekeep are old, and so we spent a lot of our time really just figuring out what that symbol meant. But I'm guessing you guys already have that under your hat as well.
a lot of it, but I'm sure there's stuff that that we just haven't come across. Also, this person that you met that gave you these amulets, can we inquire about their whereabouts or who they were?
Um, we were staying in a place in Tantans, the Hall of the Morning Lord, and they found us there. So I don't know where they are now.
You weren't staying
The
in the Hall of the
hall-
Morning Lord.
Oh, where were we?
You're staying in the house of the speaker, the leader
Sorry,
of
my
the
bad.
city.
That's right.
Did they give a name or any sort of affiliation?
DM, did they give us a name?
So you have the name of the speaker you stayed with, but the person
Yeah.
actually who brought you the amulets was a sage. he did not say his name. He said that he sort of gained was granted visions and a mission to create these amulets that would hold the blessings of the good and lawful gods, and to deliver it to the two of you. But he knew nothing about your mission or anything. It was sort of a he was a hermit from the from Icewind Dale.
Okay, I'm going to explain all of this.
Sort of a holy man, if you say.
But man,
So we didn't have a lot to go on, and so we went back to my dad's place in Candlekeep. He has access to the library there, so we did some research, and this cult. We really spent our efforts focused on trying to figure out who they were. I mean, they came out of nowhere, really, and then we had heard about some of the things which were happening in Waterdeep, and anyway, yeah.
Well, I guess to fill you in from our part, we were actually given a mission by those of the Ed Efficient Library who had been receiving dark premonitions about what was going on in the north. I'm sure you're aware of the plague that's been going around.
Yeah.
Well, in addition to that, as far as we're aware, the influence of the gods has actually been reduced. And that's led to the impact that we've seen in Magic. So we were tasked by the library to investigate this, and our first real sort of hub or port of call was Silvery Moon. So a large part of our travel so far, coming from down south, has been to try to get to Silvery Moon and then go from there. And in the process, much like you did, we've had many interesting encounters.
wait, who dropped off?
Oh, Finn,
Oh, he's back.
you zoned out there, Finn. You were just telling us about those interesting encounters. They must have been traumatic. You just completely blanked for a second.
That damn cube.
So traumatic. My phone died, but my laptop is working, so it's cool. Yeah. Where we were able to at least begin to start piecing together that maybe what's been going on has some tie to the cult and their master. So if you are on the same mission as us and you've received these amulets, I assume the gods have intervened for us to potentially aid each other in trying to figure out what is the root cause of all of this and putting a stop to it.
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess we should try to pool our resources and maybe we can do something together with what we know. I mean, this cult of Asmodeus is not going to take everything that we do lying down, and their seal is
This
just
cult
sort of
of
omnipresent at the minute.
Asmodeus?
Oh.
Yes.
The cult.
We never heard anything about Asmodeus.
I'm going to look towards
Elaborate,
you,
please.
Silvio.
Yes. Of course. I mean,
You've seen the symbol, right? The seal that they with the.
Yes.
That's a mark of Asmodeus? Who is this Asmodeus?
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. We have some knowledge. Our time. I'm going to look towards you, Silvio. Phew, our time in Candlekeep wasn't a complete waste. Okay.
Oh, man, it's all coming together.
The master is Asmodeus?
Well, that's our working theory.
I'm sorry, Adrish, but who is Asmodeus?
Do I know who Asmodeus is, or have I heard of that name before? Hey,
Give me a religion check.
probably haven't. Not with my religion.
Have
I'm not even
I?
from here. These people have different issues.
There's always a chance.
Yeah, sure. Watch me roll a -1. There it is.
Wait, what? Are you for real?
How did I know? Some people call me a farseer.
A
Some
prophet.
people
Can
call
you
you
see
someone with
you see
shit
who
luck.
Asmodeus is?
Nope. my
Doesn't
far
need-
side stops right a bit short of his doorstep.
Yeah. Asmodeus means nothing to you. It's good, it's the same as Akabosh. It's just some weird name.
Not me.
Yeah, give me a religion check as well.
Let's see if me building IKEA.
That's better.
Asmodeus is actual Satan.
Wait.
All the color just fucking drains from Emma. Like,
In
you
the-
can see this bitch's veins now.
the thing is, in the beliefs
Emma,
of the
you okay?
people of the North, it's sort of it's a common belief, and sort of it's not really common knowledge, but it's sort of almost a legend or a myth that sort of circulates. Says that Asmodeus is the Lord of the Ninth, the leader of all devils of the nine hells.
Fine, Ben. I shall let them explain. Oh, yes.
I turn
And I just,
to
like, nervously
Esper.
reach for tea.
Okay, so he's a bad guy. You've heard of the Nine Hells?
Yes, I
Vaguely.
Yes.
believe.
Yeah. Well, if the Nine Hells had a king, that'd be him.
Oh no. Oh no.
The seal is ancient. You should know. I'm not surprised that you hadn't. I didn't. I don't know about this library and what knowledge that they had, but we had to go back through the catalogs in Candlekeep to dig this out.
Oh, we didn't have much time in the library, honestly.
So
Uh,
The
do
thing
you
is-
see-
this symbol itself is not the normal symbol of Asmodeus. The symbol of Asmodeus is you might have seen, Emma, or others you have probably encountered it but never really acknowledged it. It's a 5-pointed star.
Oh.
Like all the pentagrams that we've been seeing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
As well as this odd triangle shape, where three triangles form a larger triangle, where the top piece is is a hollow triangle.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm going to look at
But
address.
what Esper and Silvio has discovered, that this symbol that what the cultists use is a very ancient symbol used for Asmodeus. Something that hasn't been seen for hundreds of years. Because
I turn to Silvio.
the cult of Asmodeus hasn't existed for hundreds of years, or at least no one really heard about it or encountered it.
Silvio, you were saying?
I was going to say, I looked at address, and I'm going to say, that's why I'm a bit surprised that you have one of his, oh, his devil, and kind of tap on my shoulder where the imp was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I look
that
at the
was
imp.
a concern.
I look at the imp.
First cultist
Yeah,
confirmed.
This thing is just chained to my will. It has no will of its own.
I didn't get any intelligence, but I don't like that it's an infernal creature.
Oh, I routinely summon infernal creatures and bend them to my will.
Oh, lovely. That sounds delightful. Could you get rid of this one for now? Oh, lovely. He is indeed gone. Okay.
Damn, did bro like that?
I suppose when you're a
It's-
lord, you
It's
Fine.
absolutely
It's
still
your-
there, just invisible.
Yep.
Does Mora finally decide to get on my lap?
Do I sense that it's still there?
No, you sense nothing from it. You
No,
just
it's
see the sort of
sense-
indent on the robe on his shoulder.
Okay, it looks like it's still there. There's a weight on your shoulder. I mean, like a literal one. There's actually also a metaphorical one, but I'm not going to get into that. We've only just met. So the literal one is the one I'm talking about.
Don't worry about it. If it steps out of line, I'll send it to hell myself.
Well, no. Don't do that. Are you not paying attention? Don't send it to hell. Imagine all the things it knows.
It knows nothing. It has no memory, no consciousness at all. I strip that out when I bring them here.
Oh, that's a good.
Yeah, it's
That's
a bit of a
thing to have.
unique
Then
case.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
turn- I'm
Think
gonna
of it
turn-
as a tool. I'm sure you have a lot of questions about us. Please get them out of the way. And no, nothing is sacred. Ask whatever you will.
At this point, as Emma sits on the on the cushioned sofa and stuffing her face with shortcakes, this big orange fat cat just saunters out from under her, seemingly coming out of
Sorry about that.
nothing.
Quite a
Come on,
time
guys.
for an
We need to
entrance,
record
don't you
this, bro.
think?
There's a cat. Is that yours?
Yeah, that's hers.
Yes, he is.
It kind of looks like it came out from under the sofa, but there's no under. It's the sofa sits on the ground.
So it came out of her arse. Got it. So there's a cat, an imp, and whatever the hell that bird is.
It's a bird.
Just a bird. Okay, you guys are not what we expected. Not gonna lie. You carrying like a little mini circus with you. I suppose they're
What
useful.
exactly
Emma just slowly puts her hand, over, or slides her hand with the Ocker ring on it on Mora.
So yeah, you lift
Um,
up the big fat cat. It's
Yeah.
like every time you try to lift up a cat, you lift up his front and his ass stays on the ground for way longer than you would expect. But you manage to pull him into your lap, and he sort of curls up, but his big green eyes, are gleaming at the two newcomers.
According to Roderick's tome of sigils, his fourth edition at least, this symbol hasn't been used for many. We're talking millennia, and it was originally. I mean, if you look at the symbol through the letterings that were used at the time, it's theorized that Asmodeus represents a kind of hypostatic character, like a tri-formed, which would make sense, right? We have these triads, and
Yeah,
even the
the
modern
three.
forms have taken.
That makes
It's
sense.
taken on
But
some of that kind of symbolism, or at least that's what I believe with the three posts and so on. I don't know how that's going to help us defeat him, and I
mean,
don't know if anybody knows what it really looks like.
honestly, what it tells me is that these three sects for his cult need to be taken out. And
Great.
Oh, okay, that's
Can
the
we
plan.
really
Sure.
defeat the king of hell?
Yes, Finn, we can.
Finn, I think we know at this point that their goal is to bring Asmodeus to this, well, this this plane, and if we have to stop that, we have to stop them. Hopefully, if we can prevent them from summoning this creature or finishing whatever ritual they need to get this entity out of the nine hells, well, then we wouldn't have to fight the Lord of the Nine Hells, as we call him.
That's what we thought as well. I mean, this whole thing seems like a house of cards. Maybe if we just topple one of them, then nothing can be done, even if the two remain.
I think let's aim for all three just for safety.
Yes, I mean, of course.
So
But
I guess
that
It's
is
possible
all.
that
Go on.
This symbol might be a seal as well. That was a theory of Beric Septim, in one of his tomes. The work comes back to us, of course, quite degraded. So who knows with the translation over the years how exact that reproduction of the original is. But it's believed that Beric was actually a cleric of Ogma. Interesting man in his own right, and had quite a lot to say about his trip to Avernus. Well, you can probably read about that if you want to. Anyway, the point is that this might be a binding seal as well. For that was one theory that was had. So I don't know if any of this helps, but it's a real weight off of our shoulders.
All of it helps. This is everything. Everything you're saying is new to us. So
Okay.
we've been fighting this cult without knowing literally what we've been fighting, and you've just given us everything. And
You hadn't. Why didn't you go to the library?
we've been to a couple of libraries, and we were carrying a library of Ogma in our pocket at one point.
We just had no clues.
Really?
Yes, you know the missing friend Doran, the one that Lady Elucia was talking about. He has that in his possession.
Yeah. We before you guys joined, she was Durham this, Durham says that, Durham says the funniest thing. We were expecting somebody. Honestly, I don't know. Anyway,
You were
she
expecting
seemed to
Doran.
be talking more about him. Well, we were hoping, honestly,
they're
that
pretty
that might
close.
be somebody.
I mean, yeah, they seemed quite taken with each other, but either way, I expected to find him here, and the fact that he's gone is strange to me, and rather worrying. I would like to talk to him again, and he does have the Library of Ogma, or access to the Library of Ogma with him, so it would probably
That's
help in our research. Yes.
Just to fill you guys in, basically in Doran's possession is a magical item called the Portable Library. It is an item that gives access directly to the Library of Ogma, the source of all gathered knowledge. It's basically a exchange system where if you provide a book for the library and a gold piece, you can request a book from Ogma's library for rent.
I think I've read about that. That was lost centuries ago, wasn't it?
Well, Doran found it, and it is in his possession, and very useful. As is Doran himself. It might be honestly the first step here, us finding Doran. The fact that he's missing is very disconcerting. We actually came here expecting to find him and find answers with him. We left him here with Lady Illustrial, expecting them to conduct their research and find more about the cult. But I mean, we found you instead, which is again more information about the cult. And might be that I'm being a bit too forward in asking this. And I look at my other two comrades, and I'll turn to you and say, I think it would be beneficial if you traveled with us for a bit, at least until we find Doran. There we can perhaps get some more answers.
Yeah. Okay. I suppose we. I mean.
Well,
yeah,
it was
we
the
should
plan.
pool our.
Yes. If that was a plan, that is a good plan. I subscribe to this plan. We could really use help with this. This is all too big for us, and honestly, we try to pretend that we've got this under control, but we clearly haven't. We've been a step behind this cult this whole way, and honestly, at this point, anything that can get us an edge is quite in our favor, honestly. And if you are here to be that edge, then so be it.
I don't know. We're not the edge. We're more like the cheerleaders. While you guys go in and do that, we're more like the, make the teas, have a, make sure that everything's okay. Any knowledge that you need.
I point to
Silvio
the.
is a dab.
Yeah, he looks kind of like an edge to me, and I look at
Yeah, well,
Silvio.
actually, Silvio's a pretty and actually he can make many things. In fact, so that's an edge, I suppose.
Is definitely.
Make many things. What do you mean?
Yeah, well,
make many?
just yesterday. It's actually weird. Yesterday he has many ideas and all of them work out. One of them was imagine sandals but holes through them that would open up the sandal. I don't think it's going to kick off. Sometimes they
Listen,
work,
it's
sometimes they
a
don't.
great idea. When you work at the forge, it gets really freaking hot, and the worst thing that you can have is sweaty feet because then you slip, then you can fall into the fire. It's not great.
I
So
keep
Wait,
telling you, work on something to counter. Anyway, look, whatever. That's he can make more things than that.
aeration
That's
is
like the
great.
least impressive.
More air is good.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
You,
I
you,
could
you
use
already
sandals like that.
you already had a name for them, right?
Not yet. I have blueprints, and it's not done yet. It's not finished, but it does look interestingly. It does look like some kind of an animal that
No,
was
we are
burnt.
not. We are not calling them. Okay, so you've moved off from holy sandals because that has a whole other. That's not.
I mean,
That was
that
not.
just sounds like a crock of shit, honestly.
Yeah,
It sounds like a wonderful
that's why I
idea to
said.
me.
It, okay.
Told you so.
And
Anyway, he can make a lot more
possibly
than
to
that.
anyone with fashion sense.
You see,
I don't know
people
about fashion,
forget.
but it seems more functional than fashionable, right? I'm sure people
Oh,
would only
They
wear
are
this
not
kind of thing for
mutually
function.
exclusive addressed. You
Nobody
just
would wear
let me
sandals with
style you.
holes.
You would know that.
So-
Every sandal has holes.
Yeah, but a
I'm go-
sandal full of holes, that doesn't seem very fashionable. I feel like people would only wear that to work.
when Emma
Well,
says
it
that
seems
because
comfy.
they're not mutually exclusive, I'm gonna look at Esper and I'm gonna say, "I told you so." She's
I'm just gonna shake my head.
finally, someone who understands. Maybe it's just a water diving thing. I don't understand. It is so normal. Oh, thank
In
you, young
fact,
lady.
I
Thank
would
you
be
very
willing
much.
to propose them to my brother.
Perhaps the
Standard
whole water
equipment
Davian
for all soldiers
army.
in the
Yeah.
army.
Honestly, we're gonna make the world look so ugly as Modius won't want to take it over.
Take that back.
So,
Says you. Have you seen your outfit?
oh no,
Yeah, it's amazing.
Asper is ridiculously fashionable. So
This is not.
the thing is, Emma, by the looks of it, Esper is wearing the very high end of Waterhoovian fashion.
Hmm.
Exactly.
So again, I feel like we're missing out on details about who you people are. I know your names, but what exactly do you do? I am a magic person of sorts. I do magic stuff.
Oh, okay. Like make your
Like make the
thing
thing
invisible
disappear.
and
Like
just
make
want to catch up. So you make it invisible, you strip it of all of its consciousness and willpower, and you control it, and it's from the hells, and you could send it back at any time that you want.
Yep. All of that.
I
And
I can honestly say that I've never met anybody who does that.
Neither
well,
had
now you
I.
have.
Yeah.
I can also blow stuff up, which is useful sometimes.
Addressed? No.
Not here. I wouldn't blow stuff up here.
Good.
I'm more of a close
Okay.
combat specialist.
And then I keep them alive.
That is a powerful skill.
She also has
Yeah.
the voice of an angel. She
I
wouldn't
do
say it, but she
not.
does.
Oh.
She does. Emma's the greatest singer any of us have ever had.
Granted, she is the only singer most of us have. But
That's not
she's
true.
pretty great.
You met quite a singer during the festival.
True, we did.
Yeah,
but that was
he's,
after
a
Emma.
bard.
Well,
So
as
I
for
am
me,
not actually. Sorry, I was saying I'm not actually from this land. I came here from Thay. I don't know if you know where Thay is.
Yeah, I think I've read of it.
Yeah.
And I'm from Chicenta.
Of course.
Of course, Lady Emma.
Amanda.
What are you? What are you, Emma?
Yeah, are you
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there
So-
eventually. We'll
At
open that
this
can when
point,
we get to it.
Wait,
The
hey,
do-
we were still getting to the background of the other two. Esper
Yeah,
and
we don't know anything about that.
Sylvia.
we'll get to that in a moment, but the door opens
Oh,
and Lady Illustrial returns.
You mean Mrs. Doran? I don't know what
Uh,
Doran's last name is, bro.
Welcome back,
Elf.
Lady Illustrial.
Dorian does not have a last name.
his
Yeah,
last name is
exactly.
Book.
Illustrial. Soon.
Silver-
Probably Alistair soon.
Yeah.
Silver Hand.
Yeah. So,
So,
Illustrial comes back. The look on her face is odd. She seems calm, but you feel that this calmness is forced upon her composure, sort of to not show her real emotional state. She approaches and sits down on the chair at the end of the table. Well, I hope that you became acquainted now.
Yes,
Well,
thank you so much, and
yeah,
your
thank you so
hospitality.
much.
Yes, thank you.
I hope new information was shared and we were you able to discover anything on your own that you might share with each other.
Well, yes,
Indeed.
we did get a lot of new information, honestly. I assume that they have informed you of what they found as well. Are we all caught up in that regard? Lady Illustrial.
No, actually, they only arrived the day before. We haven't really had much of a chance to explore their discoveries. I knew that they have something of a news regarding the cult.
Huh.
I
Well,
I am my apologies, Lord Einsvog. Of my how I ran away, but I I am greatly worried about Thorin. I attempted to look for him by magical means, but it seems that he does not wish to be found.
does not wish to be found. Was his eye acting up in any way? You know, the eye.
You mean eyes?
No, I mean the dragon eye.
No, the
Oh.
eye specific.
No, both of his eyes were sort of showing this draconic power.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Oh,
When we
That's
left,
a first.
only
that's
one of them-
worrying.
Well,
That seems like it's progressed.
I
with
mean,
the arcane anomaly going on, we have no real magical way to find him if we do not wish to be.
he may be in a place where he can't.
I know
be
how we
found,
can
but
find him.
I don't know if that's
Adrist, what are you
Emma.
thinking of?
You can talk to a horse, can't you?
It's been so long.
uh,
That I
but-
can.
but
But if he
with,
does not wish to be found, then it is not our prerogative.
in
We need
any-
to find him. You know that. It's not like it's an option.
I think I have interrupted the two of you talking.
Oh, we were actually discussing Doran if perhaps these gentlemen could join us in our quest to find him because we need answers, and Doran is, well, a font of knowledge, as I'm sure you've been made aware.
Maybe we could look for him. You know, maybe that's something we could do together.
Yeah. Oh, also,
He should be
apparently-
easy to find.
I am willing to talk to.
We should be
not-
able to find him. Surely somebody has seen him. After all, he's so handsome and funny. I'm going to kind of look towards Silvio like this has been a drain until the others arrived.
He is quite a charmer.
He's
to be
quite
honest.
handsome and funny, and his horse finds him very amusing. I'm sure the horse can find him.
Perhaps.
Sounds good.
With all of that, Lady Lustral, it would behoove you to listen to these
Oh,
folks.
good joke. Do you see what he just did there?
I know.
You missed nothing.
I didn't mean it. Didn't do it on purpose, but I'll take it. Anyway, Lady Lustral, it would behoove you to listen to these folks when they speak of the cult, because they've brought to our knowledge some rather new and terrifying information.
Why don't we find this guy Doran first, and we can fill in Lady Silverhand afterwards when she's properly able to concentrate and
Well-
not be so worried.
No,
He-
no, I need to know. Please.
DM, do we trust Lady Silverhand?
Explicitly.
So,
We've only just met her.
Illustria Silverhand is a world famous person. She
Yeah.
is the chosen leader of Silvery Moon, and she is one of the 7 daughters of Mystra. She is a
Yeah.
well renowned, amazingly powerful wizard who has the blessing of Mystra with her. She has been the leader of Silvery Moon for several hundreds of years. And most people would approach her just to get advice in anything. You don't know her personally because most of your adventuring was alongside the Sword Coast and towards the south of the Sword Coast, but you do know of her power and her influence in the world, and how she is the champion of good in all her action.
I'm going to look to Silvio. Do you want to fill her in? You're more succinct than me.
Well, the cult is trying to bring back Asmodeus to this plane,
Yeah.
probably.
So you basically go through again your.
Oh no, I'm saying it like this. I'm saying
You're just saying literally under your breath.
yeah. Basically, the cult is devoted to Asmodeus, and we think that they're trying to bring it back to this plane.
I also think its hypostatic form is a way of manifesting the triad, but that's just me.
Alustriel sits there, sort of awestruck at this information. And why do you think that is the case? There hasn't
there was
been.
There was a symbol linked to Asmodeus. We read it in a book in Candle Keep. Basically, put 2 and 2 together. I mean, it seems quite fitting.
Well, obviously.
I am actually a little bit surprised that you, of all people, didn't recognize the symbol, Lady Lustral. You've been around a while.
I
His symbol, again, millennia.
Been around a millennia.
I'm
But
gonna look at rest and I'm gonna say, I don't think she's that old.
She doesn't look that old, to be honest. She.
I'm going to telepathically message Adrisht. Is it Adrisht? Yeah, Adrisht. I'm going to say, look, we haven't met your lordship, sir, but you just don't ask women their age. This is like really awkward. And she's super powerful. She could turn you to dust. So, just like rein it in.
Adrish, there's another voice in your head.
Oh
His
no!
brother's begging to die.
Oh no! Another one.
Another voice joins the cacophony in your brain.
Wait, does he hear the other voices in Adri's head?
No.
Oh.
That
No.
would be great.
Yeah, I
There's
think
no
you
one
are.
direction to look
I
at.
think you are aware that it was Esper who sent you something telepathically. Although you're all
Can I
you're
respond to that?
As a bonus action, you may.
I just say duly noted.
Duly noted.
I'm going to give him a wink.
Oh,
Sexy wink?
why?
Just a regular one for now.
For now. Nice. So, but Alustria speaks up. I don't think I've ever seen this symbol before. It must be ancient and quite unknown.
Yeah.
The cult of Asmodeus haven't really existed ever. Nobody would be so foolish to worship the Lord of the Nine Hells.
Well,
But
clearly, some have deemed it necessary. Why, I don't know, but here we are.
it is very unlikely. This is goes against everything that we know about Asmodeus.
Why? How so?
Um, I'm sorry, Lady Sylvan. I don't mean to contradict you, but the records are quite clear. There was once upon a time a cult of Asmodeus. It's been extinct for centuries, millennia, possibly. But at one point, people did indeed worship Asmodeus.
Well, of course, there are individuals still worshipping Asmodeus, but never a cult, extensive cult, perhaps a small sect. But Asmodeus, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's like fashion. It comes in round. Things can go out of fashion for a long time, and then it comes back. That's why
I
you
think
see
what
these things that have
It's,
been extant for a good reason for a long time,
are
and
you
then it
saying?
comes back.
Are you saying there was
I
a
think
time when
what
people
Lady
would
Sylvan,
wear sandals with holes in them?
Lady Sylvan's trying to say that some things were never in fashion and should
it's,
never be in fashion and
Like
won't be in
sandals with
fashion.
holes. Oh,
That's what
sorry.
Lady Sylvan's trying to say.
it's not necessarily that. The thing about Asmodeus that doesn't make sense is this cult's objective seemed to be to bring forth this master figure that they worship. And what you have gathered so far says that they expect this master to reward them for their service with an endless paradise for just them or whatever they seek. But clearly, the message is that this master will rule over the world. But that is not the goal of Asmodeus.
What is the goal of Asmodeus? How do you know that?
Well, it is quite well. Asmodeus is the source of destruction. Their aim is to end everything.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't seem so far fetched for the ruler of the Nine Hells to have concocted a plan where he fools some idiots from the material plane to bring him forth so he can destroy the world while promising them,
But
uh,
that's the
riches.
thing.
Easy.
Asmodeus does not need to be brought forth.
He can appear anytime he wants.
But not necessarily. But
Does he need to appear at all?
yes, that's what is believed. At least that's what the sages have gathered so far. That Asmodeus' his aim is to bring the end of the world, but his aim is not to hasten this. It is almost as if it is unavoidable for him to be the source of the end of the world, but it was
And some
never. Nobody ever heard or even knew about Asmodeus aiming to hasten the end of the world.
Maybe this is just his normal timeline. How do we know if this
Um,
is hastening it in any way?
are you potentially suggesting that somebody is masquerading as Asmodeus?
Well, it is just very unlike that entity. All that we
It's
know about
possible.
Asmodeus is he does involve himself in schemes. He does try to, well, he does succeed in taking souls from people to empower himself. But it is particular whose soul is joined with his taken by Asmodeus. The only ones who empower Asmodeus are the non-believers.
People who don't believe in him.
No,
In the gods.
people who refuse to believe in the gods.
Hmm.
At the end of all of our lives, when we stand in front of the brass city, we are approached by the heralds of the gods we believe in, for our soul to pass into our domain, into their heavens. But those who refuse, and those who refuse the offers of devils and demons who entice the dead to join their ranks in the nine hell and the abyss, those are taken to Asmodeus.
Perhaps he's had a change of heart.
I don't
I,
think
I
that
don't know.
entity
but,
has a heart.
a
Well,
change of
whatever it
intention.
is, I don't think we're going to be able to figure out the mindset of the Prince of Lies and the Lord of the Nine Hells. What
That
we do
is,
know is that the symbol is linked to Asmodeus. And so
yes,
whether Asmodeus is being set up, perhaps by another entity looking to take their place, or not, we're not going to be able to figure that out now. But it's information we should definitely keep in mind.
And I think that
Is
should
it
be our
possible to?
operating theory for now.
yes.
Have you
But,
guys tried to infiltrate the cult?
It's
We are
not
rather
really
well
something
known amongst the cult.
feasible
Ah,
as well. After our interactions with the cult and with their loyalty to the master, it's not easy to trick them or get them to trip up.
I do have one more question for you guys, since you're here and since you've apparently done a lot of research. Has your research brought you any information about the One or the Church of the One?
that hasn't been our focus, um, but it's interesting. It's an interesting phenomenon.
I am very wary of, well, the motives of the Church of the One. The fact that they appeared spontaneously on this continent only a few short years or decades before uh, the Arcane Wasting, and also the
Yeah.
fact that they happen to have access to their god when all other gods seem blind to what is going on within the Sword Coast seems a bit odd. And I don't know if you know this, but what is going on is very much only a Sword Coast thing. On our
Yeah,
way north,
it hasn't reached Candlekeep quite yet either, um, which is
yes, on our way
very
north,
very reassuring.
from Kalimshan, we were on a ship when we went past what felt like a barrier of sorts that was pushing outwards. Uh, it
Yeah.
very much felt like that was the limits of this, uh, whatever this is. I'm not really sure, this disturbance.
Ordinarily, this might be the kind of thing I would have liked to track actually, if I hadn't been gifted with this many-faced amulet. I think that what I would have liked to do is a research project on how the inhabitants of the areas where this barrier has come to, how it's impacted their lives. You know, we could have conducted some surveys, gathered quantitative and qualitative research, and seen how it impacts those who are living in these kind of liminal spaces. See if it's expanding or contracting, what that might mean for arcane users and so on. But I unfortunately don't think we have time.
But one question though, what is your query about the Church of the One? Because, and I'm going to look at Esper. I'm going to say, because we've seen them everywhere. They have been in Waterdeep now. They implanted themselves and they helped a lot. But are you worried about them?
It is just the circumstances of their appearance and the convenience of it all that
Yeah.
sells me on. That tells me that not everything is as it seems there. Any god that, well, uh, can see into this bubble needs to be looked at just because why are the rest of them blind to it? Why would they be?
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and it's definitely the case that some of the worshippers for other gods
Have
are maybe
have converted.
diminishing. Yeah. In fact, we noticed that when we went to see Silvio's parents, there were acolytes from the Church of the One who had found spaces and temples and shrines which had been abandoned, and they were in the process of being converted. So
Within
um,
my own territories, there is a chapel that is soon going to house members of the Church of the One. And in good faith, I cannot stop them because, well, they are helping people. But internally, I do have my reservations. Also, Emma's mother, for one, is a member of the Church of the One at this point, which concerns us to no end.
Actually,
interesting.
there might be some answers that we can gain regarding the church. A high ranking member of the Church of the One is visiting Silvery Moon currently. They are researching any previous mention of the One in the library's collection.
Well, have they found any?
I haven't had much time yet to discuss with them their findings.
You have a
We
lot
must
on your
find
mind,
this.
Lady Silverhand.
Yes, I've, she visited me before involving herself in studies. Her name is Marisa Tihari, and apparently she's a tertiary. She is.
Tertiary?
She is. She's a secondus in the church.
Do you
Although
know where we'd
she's.
be able to find her potentially?
Sorry, what did you ask, Gonny?
Do you know where we'd be able to find her?
Um, well, between her research sessions in the library, she appears to return to the building that was assigned to the church after the battle for Silvery Moon. She took up residence there, and she rests. I think she used to be a scholar and historian, as well as a devotee of Ogma.
Has she published anything that I would know of? Anything recently? Just curious. I'm out of touch, actually. Don't worry about it.
You know what? Give me a history check.
History check. Um. Oh, fuck me, it's bad.
That's bad. Holy shit, dude. What the fuck?
Wait, what did he roll?
You rolled a 3 and it became a 13.
That's that.
So, as per
Oh, yo, yeah, you have not started playing with us yet.
the name rings a bell. This
Michelle,
Marisa Tihari, but you don't quite recall where you've read it. But
She didn't write something about cloud formations. No, that was a different Marissa. It'll come to me.
Okay. I believe we should probably speak to her. I also wanted to talk to Orpip at some point. But
Who's Orchid?
Oh, Orpip, Professor Orpip. He's a researcher here in Silvery Moon. I believe we'll be seeing him shortly. He's doing some personal research into my condition.
Well, now that we've unearthed this situation with Asmodeus, we could also go back to Candlekeep and start working on the Church of the Wand, see what's in there. I mean, Candlekeep, although your friend Dorum, if they have a library of Ogma at their disposal, it would be more prudent to find
I
that
think that
person
is
and do
probably the
research.
first step. There is
Yeah,
another.
Okay. for Doran.
As per you, you're also aware that there is a grand library in Silvery Moon as well. It is called the Vault
Yeah.
of Sages.
Yeah, but not everybody's let into it, right?
Yep, it is a well protected library. Well, you know,
We,
so
we
is
were let into it, though, right?
slightly. You're not let into the actual library. You're more just granted access to someone who has access.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
But you know,
we could also check out the
the
vault
same is
of-
true for Candlekeep. You know, not anybody can just walk into Candlekeep to do research. You have to have the right connections.
Mm.
Maybe we could check out the Vault of Sages while we're here. I've heard about it. We haven't had a chance to. If this Professor Orchid would be there, maybe Mercia would be there as well. That's where I would be if I was them.
Professor Orpet will probably be at the Invictorium.
Okay.
I will find him.
Do you think
but
that
is-
Dorum is there? Maybe your
I-
friend Dorum is there.
I think Doran is. If he took a horse, he's outside the city. Where I don't know, but he came in contact with a Draco Lich at one point. So it would be prudent to find
I
him.
don't think you're aware of that, Adrish.
He did tell us, right?
No,
Wait, what did he tell us? He told us something about a Draco Lich.
no. He
Told
very
us something
he-
about a
he-
dragon. I
No, he said it was a skeletal dragon. I don't think it had anything. He didn't say Draco Lich, but that's
Okay. No, but you know, he was very specifically told not to talk about it.
yeah. He was specifically told not to tell anyone who it was, so we don't know a name or anything like that. But he did describe it, I believe. Is what I remember. I don't know. Maybe it's not.
So your friend took their horse.
Outside the city and asked not to be found. And if I know one thing about Doran is that if he was promised knowledge, that man will stop at nothing.
Well, somebody must
And
have
did you
seen him at
accept?
this exit.
Uh, I just can't be. I'm just worried about him, and honestly, so is Lady Illustrial, and it would be.
Dorum asked you not to. He asked you to promise not to look for him. Is it?
I think he's asking Illustrial.
Okay.
It's not that he said anything. He just whenever I tried to contact him and he refused to reply. It's not that the magic did not reach him. He simply did not reply.
So he is alive. The magic did in fact reach him.
I think so. Unfortunately, it is. It cannot be relied upon in this odd magical disturbance that we live through.
I think we just have to find him.
In a location where he can't really reply, or replying could put us at risk.
I just hope he's still okay and we can find him in One Piece.
Find the One Piece.
For damn sake.
You know how hard I tried not to make that joke.
Anyway,
I was fighting for my life.
so is Doran.
Hmm.
I mean that is a solid first step towards more information, more importantly, and then also towards saving our friend. Which, I mean, probably should take precedence. Also, are there any reservations you have about traveling with us, and any doubts we can clear up before, so that
It's good.
Nope. Not for
Right.
me. Nope. No questions that I'm wondering about as I look at you. I'm going to kind of look towards you, Silvio, and try not to look Drisht in his purple orb eye. Going to be like,
Okay.
"Mhm."
I mean,
Can I see there's something wrong there?
I mean, we
Can I
still
can
actually
I
haven't.
can I judge that there's like words being spoken behind my back, knowing that he can talk in people's head?
Does it look suspicious?
Uh,
Do I see anything?
I don't.
I
Esper,
mean,
are
I'm
you
still
trying
curious
to?
about your
Sorry,
origins. We haven't heard much about the two of you.
Oh yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah, your friend likes to make stuff. And what exactly do you do, Esper?
I read.
Oh, a librarian.
It's
Then.
a replacement Doran.
Oh no,
Wait,
God,
yo,
I wish. I wish I was like
how
that.
is
No.
yo?
Um,
How is Alusho looking
more.
at this man?
I'm more of an amateur scholar, academic, and hopefully that's the plan anyway. To maybe write something and you publish it. Publishing the publishing world is killer, you
Ah,
guys. It is cutthroat.
Have you seen the price of books? It's a crime against everything.
If only there was a
And
way
to
that
get
we
kind
it's
of
could,
the
you know,
publishing
realistic
position.
mass
addressed.
produce them.
Yeah. Imagine
But
if we
I,
lived in a
I'm
world where people just didn't have to write every single book.
I am very well read on arcana, on history. I I'm all of that stuff, all that good stuff, and I do have some minor Actually, I'm going to try and lift a goblet telekinetically since my cube incident. Am I able to do that?
yes, it seems that with a bit of rest and a bit of food in your stomach, your psionic powers are back in full force, and you easily lift the goblet off the ground or off the table.
So I have some
That
minor
is cool.
telekinetic abilities. I mean, mostly I use it to get to high reach bucks, or just things I can't be bothered reaching for, honestly. But sometimes it comes in more usefully than that.
Can you lift anything like heavier than like a book or a goblet?
No, 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 not really.
Can you
I
handle
do have a
yourself in
little
a
bit of
Can you handle yourself in a fight?
yeah, totally. Yeah, usually what it is
Yeah,
so
Can
yeah,
I
Silvio
can I tell if he's
Silvio is
lying?
there, and depending
Esper,
on the fight, I mean,
are you lying? How would you rate yourself in being able to
I
handle in a
need to
fight?
know
Like,
if I need to be able to heal
I
you.
don't consider myself a fighter at all. I'm not a fighter. He's not in his head. He's not a fighter. No matter what damage he does, he's not a
you're an
fighter.
adventurer. You're not a fighter, an
Yeah,
adventurer. But so
I
yeah,
mean,
Adrish,
like
you do get
depending
the
on the
idea
fight.
that when he says, "Yeah, I can hold myself in a fight," is he's not really lying. It's more just he's
He's being humble.
yeah. No, not that he's being humble. He's just
He's not
he's just
combat
assuring
orientated.
you without much substance.
Mm.
Hmm.
I'm just
I mean, look,
asking because, well,
usually,
on the road
usually
things
I
happen.
try to avoid fights. I know, but do you like? We've managed to avoid a lot of fights.
Oh, we have an
That's
Emma.
kind of
We
more
don't
my
avoid
speed.
any
Yeah,
fights.
same.
What
Yeah,
does
we're here
that
with
mean,
Emma.
You know what they
Adris?
say?
Fights come to you.
I'm sorry, that's
I
not
feel like
emotions.
the best kind of healing, and Emma, I've heard you're a great healer, so I'm not trying to take this away, but I've heard the best kind of healing is don't get hit. So that's the version that
Oh,
I'm
that
going
that
for.
You know what? I
that
agree
goes
with
against
you.
Emma's
I like that.
philosophy.
I agree with you, Esper.
Do you? Do you
Yeah,
really?
so
It's not my fault 2 giants have fallen on me.
Emma,
Also, it quite
we
literally
literally
is,
just
but
met
we'll get to
people.
that
Why are you
later.
lying to them?
Anyway, I believe I wanted to ask you something else. You are a scholar, and you do consider yourself a scholar, so
Well, amateur. I haven't published anything really that's hit it off. I mean, I'm still hoping for really that big break.
But you've read,
I've
a lot.
published a few things, obviously. Yeah, a little bit, I
Do you
suppose. Yeah,
have
a lot, yeah.
any knowledge of the deep ethereal?
Of what material?
Of the deep ethereal?
Do I know what that is?
uh,
I look at his
Esper,
face and I say, it's okay.
give me a hard
Well,
arcana check.
Okay, I'm pretty good at Arcana, so maybe
If
can.
it's Arcana, can I do a check as well? If I ever heard it.
Yeah.
Can I just say that seems familiar? Just give me a moment. I'm going to see if I can really tap into this, and I'm going to cast guidance on myself as well.
You have guidance?
I don't know guidance. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, give me an arcana and roll a d4.
That's my D4,
Ooh.
and I'll give you my Arcana.
Your mic has been swallowed by the darkness.
Okay, still good. Not the best.
So here?
Like you sound completely muffled.
Is that what I sound like when I'm in my car?
Yeah, basically.
Oh fuck! I'm so sorry.
We can't hear you at all right now. Is it charging?
About to die.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Again? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to use my computer. My headset's about to die.
No problem. So, neither of you have ever heard of the deep ethereal.
Well, actually, I'm gonna use a feature that I have
Well-
to transform that 18 into a 22.
Into the 22, you say?
Yeah, because I have a bit of a flash of genius right now.
Also, I don't really like that answer, so I'm going to try to use some psionic power to increase my ability
course.
score if I can.
Which feature are you using again? Sorry.
It's called fuck you DM. It's called
Is the side bolster's neck, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna add my energy, my psionic
You're
energy
gonna add your
die
psionic energy die to it.
to my 19. So let me just roll that because I don't know where anything is in this. Just give me 1 second. Psionic energy die.
Oh my god, this is amazing. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Do I
we
roll
got,
that?
This is
we got
wonderful.
more broken a bit. Oh man, Hig, we're gonna have fun
21.
this campaign.
So that is a 21, right?
And a 22.
Or a 22.
It's just like fucking.
No.
This is hard.
Is the DC 20? I sure hope it is.
Yeah, same.
You have not heard of the deep ethereal.
That doesn't
Hey,
exist.
Hey, in the book,
good
it
stuff.
literally says DC 20 is hard.
Yeah.
Is it very hard?
It is very hard.
Alright.
It is,
Oh,
Like
the
something
thing
which
is,
exists,
Mm.
the
that material.
even planner travelers don't go to the deep ethereal.
Yeah.
And most people never even hear about the deep ethereal. It is not something that, is often discussed in scholarly information.
I will say, hey, do I notice them looking at my eye?
No, absolutely not. I'm literally looking everywhere but.
So,
I'm looking only at your eye when I talk to you.
I'm going to say that it's, the big purple elephant in the room.
Silvio, if you want to ask, dude.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, I never heard of it. I don't think it exists, but
Yeah.
we could try and meditate on it for a little bit at some point, or maybe do some research if you like. If I don't know, I'm sure I know somebody who's written on it. Is it something that's very close to your heart?
Well, close to my eye. And about my heart.
Oh, you're the one that's
Yeah, that one.
hmm,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Sure.
Uh,
Was it
You
like
notice Esper looking at your eye right now.
is it like a forge accident? Like, sparking the no?
No, I ripped it out.
You sorry?
There are some things I
Yo,
can't
Does he say
prevent.
that with a straight face?
Absolute stone face.
Does he look to me
That's
like some kind
serious.
of enhancement? Something that he would have like some like this contraption in it, something that's like been
The
created.
the
It
eye
looks
starts
dodgy, right?
glowing purple, and like shadows start drifting off it to the side.
Oh my goodness.
You really do love a smoky eye. Huh?
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
it's a it's a it's a thing I found,
You found
or
your eye.
it found me, I guess, in Thay. And honestly, it's the reason I'm here. It's the reason. Well, I came here seeking answers
Uh,
and trying to control what this thing is doing to me.
maybe Adrish, maybe you could show it to them closer. Just pop it out, hold it in your
Can
hand.
I pop it out? I don't think I can pop
Can
it out.
he?
So, you plucked out your old eye.
It was time.
It was time. It was, yeah, one of those
As it
times.
sometimes is, yeah, when you
Yeah.
need
If
to pluck out
I'm-
your eye. There are things about us that you're gonna find odd, and
If I
I'm
remember
just gonna
correctly,
have to ask
didn't
you
it
to
like
accept that.
implode?
No, I very much took it out,
Hmm.
or more, press this one in.
I'm gonna message Silvio telepathically and say, "Fuck me, I am on to a winner. When we write this shit up, we need to know everything about that guy and publish it." And we'll be like, "Oh,
I
that's
mean,
really interesting. We should talk about that again in the future at some point."
Working title: The Madness of Lord Ashglade.
The slow descent into madness. Actually,
is it mechanical in any way?
oh no, purely magic.
Oh, oh, understood.
It works as an eye, kind of. It does a little bit more than that.
What more does it do
Well,
other than smoke?
it gives me access to some magics that I did not have previously.
What kinds of magics?
Do you have a dead body lying around?
Do you know?
Oh, this thing, and it pops up.
The imp appears once again on his shoulder.
Huh. So you could say that your magic is sourced somehow with the 9 hells?
Well, not the 9 hells. Just
mean-
a healthy dose of necromancy. Or an unhealthy dose of necromancy.
Well, I mean, technically, I think it would be a dose.
Healthy dose of necromancy.
Because you're bringing them back, in a sense, some capacity, right?
Honestly, every
Mm.
devil I rip out of the 9 hells is, well, it essentially dies when I send them back. So I'm doing a service.
That sounds awful.
So your friend Dorum, so he took his horse and he fled the city. Maybe we should go after that.
Let's
wonder
go
why.
talk to the horse.
As per at this point, you're getting the idea that this Dorian guy might have just run away from these three. He must have heard that they're coming back, and he took the opportunity to just blast off and be safe.
We didn't even know we were coming back. How did he know? How did he know?
Yo,
Divine
Doran's been
intuition.
prepared. He's been prepared for this day, bro. He keeps tabs on us. He's like, oh fuck. Yo, a week later, he's gonna visit a Lustro in the middle of the night. Be like, honey, I'm home.
Emma, you want to go and was it that horse now?
Dorian already paid off the horse. The horse will never answer any of your questions.
I can make impromptu cat food.
Emma
Don't
can make
worry.
him talk.
Mhm.
Emma's the horse whisperer.
Oh, look at that frozen Gunny.
Oh, yo!
No, it's
Bro!
fine.
Ah, wait, am I still frozen?
No, you're fine.
For me, yeah.
Wait, is it frozen?
And
Oh, it
hey,
is
you
frozen.
gotta get that new
He
internet.
looks great. He looks in a state of shock. Like,
Yeah, we got a slideshow
I'm
of
just
Gonny.
gonna fucking screenshot that real fast
All right.
because it
Come
looks
on,
fun.
I'm giving Squirrel too much ammo. Watch
So, well, then, what is your next step? Now that Aegis
is on.
and Cerberus working together?
How does that work together, by the way?
Do you have the horse?
Is the horse still alive and around?
That's a
Yes,
very good
I-
question.
Once its returned, it was placed back in the stables. Oh, we lost Gonny.
Alright.
He's gonna reconnect.
His internet connection could not handle the camera.
Video stream,
Yeah.
yeah. No, but the horse is still there.
Sorry.
Emma can talk to it, and I'm
Yes.
sure the horse knows
I
where
can talk to
Gonny,
them.
where it dropped Gonny or where it dropped Doran
Dor-
off. I really keep saying Gonny. Gonny's gone.
Gonny's dead. Gonny choked on a piece of cupcake.
And if we can find where it dropped it off, we can probably pick up his trail somewhere.
Oh, we can try.
Yep, the camera was a step too far.
Your internet connection would just refresh.
Bro, I don't even. And if I speak about this, I'm not.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry, I lost the codes to.
Well, it would be nice to know if Doran is okay. Well, if he's where he is. But you said that you wish to do research or at least meet with that high-ranking member of the church.
that's
Well,
an
that is a thing that we should probably do before we leave the city again.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. What was her name again? I believe I have it somewhere.
Melissa Tahari.
Yeah, Marissa Tehari. Yeah, that's the one. Perhaps we should talk to him or talk to her. I also want to talk to Arpip just to say hello. Honestly, more than anything else, I doubt he has anything. Yeah.
If we weren't here, what would be your next plan? What would you guys normally do?
If you weren't here, we wouldn't know about Asmodeus, and our plans would be completely different. We would have been going to Kelp, but that's in the shitter now.
Okay.
I think it's more important to pursue this lead, probably. We also weren't expecting Doran to just be gone.
My guess
That
is
is
that not many other people know of the discovery that we've made, so maybe we should keep it to a close circle for now.
I think we just don't tell anyone outside this room.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, do you not think it might not be a bad idea to discuss this with Bane and see if he has
Well,
any idea?
if and when we find Bane, it would probably be a good idea. But seeing as he was venturing towards Waterdeep, is that what we last heard? The Bane was moving towards Waterdeep.
Well,
You
to the
just heard that he was moving
south,
towards the south. Beyond that, you're not sure where.
well, human potentially in that direction.
I feel like I
Yeah.
heard Southwest, but okay.
Yeah, you sort of you were told that it was assumed that he was heading towards Waterdeep.
Yeah.
But
So-
it wasn't a sure assumption.
Seeing as we
Uh,
don't really know when we'll next see him, I don't think that'll be an issue.
Alucio speaks up as well. I agree with Esper. It would be unwise to spread this information too far. If people would be assured that we are facing Asmodeus in a new action to perhaps destroy the world, it could cause widespread panic, further hindering our work and possibly strengthening the cults.
Yeah.
Definitely
Nice.
strengthening the cause if it needs to panic. Nothing could really be done.
By the way, Lady Lustrel, I did recently take possession of the Mercurius Mansion. Thank you for that.
Oh, I hope it will serve you well.
It already has.
The
Quite a gift.
the,
Thank you.
the old man left it in our possession, saying that find use for it. His words. I
The old
never.
man, meaning him.
Yes, Elminster.
Well, we've certainly had a rude surprise when we brought it forth, but
Oh,
we managed to
why?
clean it up.
What happened?
Well, it had a little bit of a slard infestation.
That that's horrible. If I knew, I would have
Oh, don't
never.
worry about it. It wasn't much of a bother. We cleaned it up pretty quickly. It's in much better shape now. Cost us a lot of money, but it's in much better shape now.
Oh, well, I'm glad it is resolved, and I hope it will be the pride of Kelb at some day.
I think more people are worried about going there because of the mold monster and the strange talking apparition. But we'll get to that in time.
Just calm.
Anything he touches dies.
That doesn't mean he's a monster
Oh.
inherently.
Do you bring them back then?
Well, I could,
Exactly.
but it wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be them, is what I'd say.
How dare you say that anything he touches die? Anything he touches grows.
After they die.
Death is just a new stage of the cycle of life.
So
I'm sorry. This is Emma, not Icarus.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But I recently found a blacksmith for kelp in Mithril Hall. That'll go well.
oh, you have made your way to Mithril Hall.
Yes, I thought we
What
might.
news with them?
We've recently just returned, actually.
It might be actually wise to fill you in on that as well before we make any further decisions. Mithril Hall was under siege by a shadow dragon of sorts. Well, not under siege. It lay in a mining cavity below the mountain, but it was attacking
A
quite
shadow
regularly.
dragon?
Yes, a dragon made entirely out of shadows.
I've,
I had never heard of such a thing before. Never thought I would see one.
I think
don't
this
even-
day will put me to shame. First, the symbol of Asmodeus that I've never seen, and then a creature I'd never even heard of. A dragon made entirely of shadows. And you
Yes.
have you defeated this creature?
Yes, we did manage to defeat it, if that is the word. But as it died, it spoke of its mother. It seemed to imply that its mother had disagreed with the dragon itself, perhaps forewarned his demise. I'm quite worried about what the mother or where the mother might be.
Well, and was there any? Have you brought some scales perhaps from it, or a dragon blood?
It disappeared into nothingness. There was nothing left.
Nothingness. How particular. Oh, I must send my people to Mithril Hall then. Perhaps I never even heard of a creature made entirely of shadows, or well, perhaps a dragon made entirely of shadows. This is an amazing discovery, but well, we have bigger things on our plate right now. Perhaps in a more peaceful time.
I do wish that you would send some emissaries to Mithril Hall, though, because the hall is again open. They are accepting visitors once again, and
Are they safe?
they are safe.
Why were their homes closed?
They implied that it was a safety precaution against the plague.
Oh, well, that is understandable, I guess. Very well, I shall send emissaries as soon as possible.
Yes, coordination would be, well, needed and quite useful. Therefore, seems like a proud man, but he is, I believe, his heart is in the right place. So, what else? Is there anything else I'm missing, Finn, that the Lady Illustrial must know about our journey? Perhaps about some mountains and a trial of sorts.
um, I pull out the
Needs
cube.
Are you okay, Finn? Do you need a cough drop?
I told you he choked on a piece of muffin.
Oh,
Need some
nah, man.
water,
I'm
Finn?
just, nah, I'm feeling. Yes, please.
I'm gonna pass a water flask.
Telepathically.
He has unlimited water in his backpack. It's unlimited.
Ah. Well, so Lady Illustral, you know that we've spoken about this before, and also heads up, Esper. I'm gonna be pulling out the thing again.
I'm gonna,
Wait, what?
I'm gonna
I
make
didn't
my
sign
way,
up for this.
I'm gonna make my way behind Silvio casually.
Um, so you know how we discussed Akabosh and the cube?
Yes, you've asked if I have knowledge of this Akabosh, but unfortunately, I don't think I've ever heard this name before.
Well, whilst we've been away, we've learned a few things. So, damn, in the Silverwoods. Oh my notes. Actually learned that Akabosh is some sort of, I guess with the right word here, be anagram. Pig.
Sort of. It's not really an anagram, no.
Acronym?
An acronym, sorry. That's what I'm thinking of.
Um,
Where did I write it down? Give me 2 seconds. Let me just look through the notes.
In the meantime, DM, what is she wearing? Illustrial.
Alicia.
Bruh.
Let's get to what we really need to know. Is she wearing Crocs?
Do her sandals have holes?
They will by the
That's
time
what I'm used to.
by the time Silvio and I are done with her. They will.
I kind of love this question. Does Lady Israel wear Crocs?
She
That was
seems
my
cool
question,
enough.
by the way. I just want to know what she wears. If you look humble or if it's like adorned garment, kind of like fancy. Just to give me a sense of her.
Or
So,
armor?
let me give you like a general description of her.
She is fine. That's all you need to know. That's it.
So, Illustrial is, well, without any kind of shadow of a doubt, beautiful. She has she has warm, compassionate eyes that seem to almost sparkle with this almost sun-like quality. But if you look closer, as if the stars are reflected in her eyes, even though she's inside. Her face radiates a certain warmness, but it's difficult to tell how her age really. She is not old, not young. She looks ageless but ancient at the same time. She is just shy of roughly 6 feet, and she has long silver hair that cascades down over her back. She is currently wearing these light robes. Uh, it's white on the shoulders and the arms with this blue, almost sort of cuffs on her forearms, and the dress front is also this deep dark blue with a little pelerine around her shoulders, which is silver and blue in color, and they have the symbols of unicorns, sort of a unicorn of a horn pattern to these colors. We're not going to call it the pelerines. She's not wearing any kind of royal regalia or of sort, but it seems to be that she's not dressed for uh, sort of accepting audiences. Oh, actually, I could just show you a picture that is that is
Bird
almost
made
what
it.
I described. How the Jesus? How did I described Alustriel from just sort of memory of how she's described in lore, and then there's this image.
Where
Oh,
is the
yeah.
image? Is it an artwork?
No, it's on Foundry.
Ah, nah, I have to fight Durham, bro. What do you mean? What do you mean? You told me you got on a horse and you left? Are you mad?
Adelaide
Are you
exists. Adelaide
mad?
exists.
Anyway,
Emma's
God damn it,
fighting for her
Hig.
life.
For people who don't know, Adelaide is Emma's significant other.
Her partner,
yeah.
the love of her life. Just keep that in mind moving forward, guys.
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah.
the
To
player
answer
is
your
a bitch.
To answer your question, Silvio, that is how Lady Alustriel Silverhand looks like.
Tells me a lot about her.
Honestly, if you're gonna join our group, you need to know that once in a while Emma's gonna step out, so we need to bonk her.
She is the horny part of the group.
We don't want to slut
There
shame
is
her.
nothing wrong with window shopping.
Those are
Or
Crocs.
actual shopping either.
They're not just any Crocs, though. They're good. I need something.
They are magic Crocs.
Adelaide is a very nice lady. I just wish that you wouldn't hurt her.
Hey, she is turning into a porcelain doll, so.
Why are we talking about Adelaide? Who's Adelaide?
Adelaide is Emma's
Hig,
well, other half.
you gave me a very, very dirty thought.
And I can't say you're wrong. So, why did you have to say it? I knew what you were thinking. You did not have to say it.
They're fun Crocs. See?
Are those Mickey Mouse themed Crocs?
Yes.
Mickey Mouse Crocs.
What?
The horse is Mickey Mouse.
Mhm.
It looks like small balls to me. Just like ball sack.
Oh wow.
Ah. Oh shit, is
That's
my
what I
camera
think.
okay?
Oh, the
camera's-
ball
It's like
sack
one of those
Crocs.
ink glossy tests. What do you see? A scrotum.
Is it either Mickey Mouse or a scrotum? We'll never know.
It's Mickey Mouse. I
It's
got him on a
definitely a
Disney
scroll.
cruise. When I went on the Wish, I got
scrotum.
him.
So
That's
Plus,
what you
Hig,
thought you bought.
I'm me.
moving on.
I don't touch balls.
Moving
Hey,
on.
what a boss.
F standard.
Well then, I hope that you will discover more, and you will be able to get
Oh,
me
Hig,
some information.
I've
Sorry?
got my notes, by the way. Like talking
Okay.
about what I discovered with regard to Akabosh and stuff. Remember?
Oh yeah, sorry, we got into that conversation with madness. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
I got distracted by Crocs and balls.
That look like scrotum. Yeah.
Crocs and balls?
Yeah. It's like a croc and bush, but it's like croc and balls.
It'll
Oh.
distract you every time.
Wait, what were you talking about?
Akabosh.
Ah, yes, before the Crocs and Bulls. Yeah, so I explained about how we encountered Muriel and how he mentions that Um, the scrawlings upon the cube are writing from an ancient elven civilization based within the proximity of the Silverwoods, and then says that Akabosh is actually a decoded message that stands for a cursed monster, its name forever to be forgotten, killer of uncounted, their blood turning the land sodden. All who know them are forbidden to speak, and all who see them will tremble in fear. Banished to their prison, sealed and wrapped in chains, as long as the world stands, shall never be freed. Oath, hold their guard forever vigilant, making sure their promise to the fellowship is upheld till the end. Secrets in their grasp, too great for the world, from divine minds in their grasp it fell. Haunting reminder, the greatest trickster, who's proven the gods can be fooled as well. Um, so that's what we were able to learn about Akabosh from visiting the Silverwoods. And I also
But by the
mentioned,
way, Paul, you can both see this in notes in under Cube's inscription. So, well, but still, who is this Akabosh then?
we still don't know. But I also mentioned that when I first came into contact with the cube, I had a vision of a seed, and whilst we were at Mithril Hall and we were spoken to King Delphid himself, he actually said that he recognized the seed that I was discussing. Um, it's a region very close to Mithril Hall.
Oh, really? So perhaps you should go there as well?
That's actually potentially where we're planning to head next. We have some unfinished business back at the hall, and we were hoping to check out this area. But I wanted to know if any of this information may have come across your way or jogged any knowledge. Have you heard about
I'm
any?
sorry, Finn. Unfortunately, like I said, I've never heard of this Akabush before.
Uh, it's okay. Thank you for listening.
Have I ever heard of Aku Bosh now that I'm listening to all this and I've heard the little rhyme and whatever?
No. No checks, just no. But this is an intriguing idea. Let me just give you a sort of brief on this, because, Finn was sort of blurting through information. It seems that this Akabosh figure is connected with the cube, even though he said that, it's nothing, it's not important. It does seem important. And what you've gathered so far, that this Akabosh seemed to have been some sort of creature or entity, rather, that was banished to a prison, imprisoned because it done something horrible. This inscription says that the killer of uncounted, that their blood turning the land sodden. But you're not quite certain what kind of entity it's referring to, as you've never heard this name before, and all the descriptions are very vague.
Have you ever heard of the Fellowship, whoever they are, the promise to the Fellowship? Does
So Connie did not mention this, but this inscription was originally written in Ancient Elvish, and the Fellowship, which it was translated, was written with the word Seldarine. And I'm not sure if you know, but the Seldarine is the court of elven gods.
When I looked at it earlier, did I see these elven inscriptions? On
Yes,
it?
it's sort of edged into the sides.
Okay. Cool. So it looks like we have a few leads. We can go see Mauricia Tahari, scholar, and figure out what she knows. We can go track down some more information about this Akabosh in some kind of ancient elven lore, or as I understand it, we can speak to a horse. I'm up for all
Yes.
of those.
These are all equally great leads.
Should we start with the
I feel
horse?
like that's the most
Well,
actionable
might
of
be
I
the
think
the.
easiest
you
one.
should leave the horse last. Like that seems like the most difficult task.
It would be
Um,
anticlimactic to end with the horse.
You you talk to the horse. It's like, yeah, I know where Asmodeus is. Yeah, he's my buddy.
oh, that's my guy.
Maybe we should ask Shadow Ranger.
We went
Oh,
to
Shadow
college
Ranger already
together.
knows. He already knows how to stop Asmodeus. He wants us to come up with the answer ourselves.
Shadow Ranger does not want to stop Asmodeus.
Shadow Ranger is the team coordinator.
Shadow Ranger wants Asmodeus to come forth so he can defeat him. By the way, Shadow Ranger is their horse.
It's a
One of
horse,
their
yeah.
horse.
Figuring it out. Yeah.
It's Finn's horse.
So, Lady Illustria stands up and sort of straightens the creases on her dress and turns towards all of you. The guest house is welcoming you for as long as you need it. And please bring back good news and more, whatever you can learn of this great threat to our world. I will as well try to gather more information. Perhaps we can learn if the cult of Asmodeus has existed here in the north. Perhaps is information that we overlooked. Since this cult of the Master just sprung up out of nowhere, I think my researchers focused on more recent actions in history. Perhaps if we look farther back, maybe there's more to learn.
Yeah, you should look into transliterations as well. Some of the texts that we looked at had lacunae all threaded, and some of it was not very well transliterated across different languages. So it could exist under other names.
Also, who do we talk to about meeting the horse?
We're back to the horse.
Uh,
Sorry. It's best if you head to the stable master. He should
Very well.
know which horse was taken by Dorint. Fucking horse quest. Oh.
And
By the way, guys, this is the second time they pull this shit on me.
no, it's not.
So, the thing is,
It's the
like,
third.
when I gave them the horses,
Oh,
I was
never
like,
mind. It's the fourth.
Wait,
it was like,
really?
these are these cool horses. These are their names. Choose whichever you like. And Emma just pokes up. I'm going to cast Speak with Animals, and I want to get to know all of them. So I literally
Hig was a horse for an hour.
I was playing 6 different horses for an hour and improvising their voices and personalities on the go. Here I go again.
You're not able to find the horse that you're looking for. Maybe there'll be other horses in this stable.
Wait.
That you could action all
Perhaps the other
Didn't
horses
we
have
leave
met
Sunshine
before,
with
and then
Dor?
they've
No,
talked about it.
Sunshine is addressed.
Oh, but horses
Right?
are well traveled. They actually provide a wealth of information. It might be a good idea to talk to all of them.
Yeah, maybe
In the whole
you know.
city.
Perhaps. Maybe we
Maybe
should.
you should also ask, the field mice that's hiding inside, the
Stables,
hay
yeah.
stacks, yeah, and definitely the
The
cat,
chicks.
the stable cat,
Well, I mean,
Anyway.
Mora could do that part.
and all the 800,000 bats that live inside the castle in,
No,
in
thank you.
several hidden locations.
Anyway, I guess
Anyway,
we,
yeah.
I guess we start with the second of the one.
Oh, okay.
She's at the library, you said.
But she
Wall Street?
what she told you. Oh, hello.
He's
So,
back, he's back.
she said that she was researching in a library, but returned to the not really church, but the building that was given to the Church of the One after the Battle of Silver
Okay.
Moon. So she said that that might be the best place to look for her.
Guess we head there then. Start our search there, and then we can go from there towards other leads, more promising leads.
Like the
Tig,
horse.
you better warm up your voice for next week, bro.
Just fucking horse quests.
Like, man, we need like 10 different voices for these horses, man.
As, only one horse is willing to speak. The rest are too engulfed in breeding and eating.
I'm gonna get Shadow Ranger to get them in line.
All right. So, saying your goodbyes to Lady Illustrial, you pick up a couple more scones. You know,
course.
throw on the go.
Are they
I'm not
fresh
gonna have
scones?
anymore. I'm just gonna stay svelte. I don't want. No thanks. I need to be light on my feet when I need to be. So
Yeah, you need to fit in those dresses.
need
Are the
to-
scones fresh?
Yeah, they're pretty fresh.
Alright, because old scones are terrible.
So, with that, you say your goodbyes, to Lady Illustria, who heads in the opposite direction, and you start heading out of the palace. You make your way through the long corridors of the lady's private chambers, head through the audience hall, and find yourself once again on the castle grounds. Now, how do you find this house?
I assume people know where the Church of the One is centered in Silvery Moon. I feel like we can just ask around for that. Okay?
Even
Would Illustrio not have just given us an escort?
to be honest, even you should know because I told you already.
We've been there, right? I feel like we've been there before, haven't we?
Oh, you haven't been there. No, it's actually when you received your rewards for saving the city, they were there as well.
Okay. I was
Anyway.
more focused on other things at that point.
Ooh, hang on.
No, don't worry about it, Gunny.
Too many notes, bro.
Yeah. So, in any case, it doesn't take you long. A bit of questioning of locals to where the Church of the One seem to have set up. Until you are sort of not escorted, but you are pointed towards the right direction. You start heading back towards the west where you came from, and as you walk along that wide boulevard on the northern side of the city, you see a bit of a commotion.
Oh no, what kind of.
A crowd of people standing in front of a building. A building that you are heading towards to.
Do we hear anything as we approach? Are they saying anything? Do they look like a mob?
Give me a perception check. No, they do not look like a mob. As you take a closer look at them, they look excited. They all looking towards this single entrance where it's not really a commotion. It's more like there's too many of them to fit into the building, and still they're trying to get inside.
Okay. Well,
Is this normal?
I mean, with how they've been growing, it feels inevitable, honestly.
A little bit.
But can we find a way to the front?
But
We don't have a big wave in front, so it might be a little harder.
the thing, it is quite a big crowd, so you sort of getting through them would be, like cutting in the line.
I'm okay with doing that. To that effect,
You to pull out the demon and just wave it around in your hand.
no, I was thinking more like a fucking. Oh, that would be too much. Too much. No,
We could
no.
do something to distract the line.
Cast mass suggestion.
I
No,
have that.
I think there's also too many people.
Cast hypnotic pattern.
I don't have that.
I was thinking other things, but it's okay. We can just slowly make our way forward, I guess. Wading
I mean-
through the crowd.
I'm going to just ask somebody there. What are you doing? What's happening?
Oh, we are just gathered for the 10-day gathering. We are here to hear the good words of the one.
Today, now?
Yes.
Downside.
And who is the
Yeah. Every 10-day before the last day we gather.
who delivers the word of the one? Is there a person in charge who does this? Is there a preacher, perhaps, that is specifically tasked with this solemn duty?
Let's see if we can fucking find their names. Give me I know I had those names down.
If their
Is it
name is anything other than Marissa Tehari, I don't give a shit.
It's not.
him. Oh, I love it's me. It's some random dude.
Wait, what do you say, Esper?
Dave. His name's Dave. Let's go with that.
His name is,
Yeah.
his name is Boris. Uh,
It's fine, Hig. You don't have to find it.
it was important.
Is it?
Somewhat. It's basically the people who were fighting in the siege against
Ah,
Silvery Moon.
okay.
It's the same people, but I don't know where I put their names.
So
Fuck.
the word of the one is delivered outside the church and not in.
Well, they
Archie,
don't really.
you already know there's too much. There's not enough space in there for this many people, bro. Come on, look at Higgs' face, man.
I'm just thinking, if the church is empty, we can just head in.
No, the thing is, the church is completely full, and these people are spilling out.
Oh, okay.
It's not really a church; it's just a building that they're using. They don't have a church here. I will never find those names.
Well, I'd hate to, use our good name to plow our way through these people, but time is of the essence.
When he says that, I'm taking my shield in front of me and starting to push people away.
Oh no,
Really?
no, don't worry about. Okay, I'm gonna
Start-
cast. I'm gonna
let
cast
us
fly.
pass.
I'm gonna cast fly.
Okay.
On
And I'm gonna
his-
fly over the crowd, like slowly float towards the front of the crowd, and descend. Do I get any space?
So the building itself, there's this sort of roof ahead in front of the door, sort of providing protection from the rain before you enter. And that place is full, but you sort of navigate under the low roof, sort of pulling yourself along the wood, and you try to squeeze yourself in the front.
Is that an
In
open
the
window?
in the meanwhile, Silvio, you're trying to push across, like through the crowd, right?
Yeah.
So, would you give me an athletics check?
Sure.
Use your strong hand.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. People, you get a bit of grumbling, but you know, these people are wearing full plate armor. They look like important. Even you two look quite important in your looks. They see that these people are not ordinary.
Okay.
Especially
gonna
when one of the guy just flies up in the air and starts floating above them.
I'm going to try and stick really close to Silvio as he's pushing through and be like, kind of going in after him, like that's Silk. Push people's hands away and sort of try to.
Yo, this man
Lovely.
said, don't touch the merchandise.
Fucking bodyguard. I just
You can't
look at
touch that.
Finn.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Is Emma expecting a bodyguard
No.
from someone
Hell
that's
no.
half her size?
Well, for now.
I mean, I could try.
Well, I mean, could always grow.
I mean, you could just literally go under people's feet and get in.
Yeah, I say, Lady Koryak, this way, please.
You just start ducking between their feet.
Yo, Emma, come on, follow me.
While I'm
So,
I
following,
do
I'd
have a
like-
way that I could get in.
While I'm following, I'd like to use Druid Craft to create the faint odor of a skunk so that people want to leave us as well. I'm just going to keep on whiffing that ahead of.
just
Mm.
these people just walk in. One of them start pushing through the other slides, and they both stink and disgusting. You're ruining the image of both servers and ages at the same time. But this, nobody's going to sponsor your adventuring anymore.
That's fine. We have money.
You do indeed have money. So, bit all these methods, and a bit of elbow into ribs. You manage to get ahead of the crowd.
Yeah,
And you are
just dancing through.
And you are standing in the open front door, and you see that the inside is packed.
Is it a high ceiling?
Not really. It is sort of a ground floor room. It extends to the entirety of the building, and you see this staircase to the left, which seems to lead upwards. People are. Sorry?
Do I see any preachers?
Yes. So the room is stuffed with people. People are standing, sitting on the ground, sitting on all sorts of mismatched chairs, and across the sea of people, you do see a cleric of the one. This youngish half-elf woman. She has this horrible looking scar running down from her left eye across her cheek, but she's smiling at the crowd. And now that you enter the building, you can clearly hear her sort of leading this sermon to the one. She is speaking about her experiences, how she walked through many cities, and how she found people who were able to help others, how she found encouragement in those who were willing to give to those who were in need, and how all of us should be aiming to do that. How we need to be united against the forces of evil, and how even the smallest act of kindness could have a greater effect in the end, because all good deeds contribute to the fight against evil.
Does
Are
it
there?
sound? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go on, go on.
No, I was going to ask. Does it sound on par with what we witnessed in Waterdeep when we were there with all the churches and the preachers being kind of like revitalizing some churches and stuff like that?
She her words are different. She seemed to speak mostly about her personal experiences, but her message is seemingly the same. And you see the crowd ahead of you, all sorts of people, rich and poor mixed together, old and young, and all sorts of races, elves, humans, gnomes, even some halflings, occupying one single chair, four of them. It's listening to the words of this woman, and it's not that they're entranced, it's more like they are awestruck. Because, like, you remember this woman. She was one of those clerics who acted as the front line of attack when they fought against the cultists and devils that attacked Silvery Moon. And she was quite horribly injured in that attack. But now she stands in front of this crowd, smiling and speaking about how things could only get better if they work together against the armies of evil for the good of the people.
Well, is there any other preachers? Like, are there any other preachers or like officials of the church around, spread out among the crowd?
Give me a perception check.
Alright. Oh, come on. Should have been rolling like shit today.
I love asking Adrish for perception checks. It's always great.
I've made 4 rolls today. None of them have been over a 5.
So, Adrish, you try to get a glimpse of surroundings, but since you are not able to fly up above the crowd, really, without, hitting some people in the head with your knee,
I mean, I can fly lying down.
it would be
You
really
want to
awkward.
Superman it?
Yep. Or like just like sort of backstrokes above the crowd in the air.
But you can't really make out any more clergymans.
Unfortunately, I guess I'll just wait out the rest of the lecture
Right? What
on
about
the
everyone?
ceiling like a bat.
Like a lizard, just
Yeah.
making darting motions with your head and licking your lips. So, what about everyone else?
Listening attentively.
I'm listening as well.
All right. So, you all sort of try to push into the crowd to be able to hear what she's really saying. People are sort of pushing in behind you as well, trying to get a better look or hear more what they are saying. But it seems that you sort of walked into the middle of this sermon, but you do catch sort of her closing statement. She speaks with a clear voice and compassion in her voice. She sort of describes a picturesque landscape, or rather a vision of what she thinks or what she feels the world be when the one delivers. Picture a paradise so breathtakingly beautiful that words struggle to capture its essence. In this realm, ethereal mist weaves through emerald valleys, caressing towering trees that shimmer with vibrant hue of gold and amethyst, luminous waterfalls cascading down on crystal cliffs, their melodies, uh, their melodic symphony harmonizing with the sweet song of exotic birds that flit gracefully overhead. Meadows of wildflowers sway gently in warm breeze, their fragrance filling the air with a symphony of scent. Majestic creatures of myth and legend roam free, their presence radiating an aura of tranquility and wisdom. Radiant sunshine bathes the land, cascading a soft, iridescent glow upon all that it touches. But it's not merely the nature splendor that captivates the senses. In this paradise, hearts are unburdened by conflicts or strife. Bands of kinship and friendship intertwine, fostering a deep sense of belonging and unconditional love. Each individual is celebrated for their unique gifts and contributions, and their dreams and aspirations are nurtured with unwavering support. Wisdom flows freely, shared among all who seek knowledge and understanding. Laughter and joy reverberate through vibrant cities where art, music, and dance flourishes in a kaleidoscope of expression. In this realm, the one's presence is palpable, radiating love, compassion, and boundless grace. The very fabric of existence resonates with the harmonious energy of unity, as all beings, regardless of race or background, live in perfect harmony. Fear and sufferings have been vanquished, replaced by a profound sense of purpose, fulfillment, and contentment. In it is a paradise where every soul is embraced in the eternal held of the one that the one brings, a sense of serenity that transcends mortal understanding. To behold this paradise is to glimpse small fragment of the one's ultimate vision, a world where goodness reigns supreme, where the beauty of creation flourishes, and where all being bask in the warmth of the divine love. It is a vision that ignites hope, inspires unwavering faith, and fuels the tireless pursuit of peace and enlightenment in the hearts of us, devoted followers of the Church of the One, and yours if you seek it.
While she says all that, can I try to dissect or like deconstruct the speech and try to see if there's any pattern, any words that are like they were put in different way. We have a hidden message. Or I'm just trying to basically think what she's been saying, and if there's like anything behind it, if it's just what she's saying, or there's like some code or anything like this behind.
And
Wait, sorry.
oh, sorry, you.
Give me an investigation check to try see if you can decipher if there's any hidden meaning.
Curious. Does her description, do her descriptions seem familiar?
Yeah. So, Silvio, you intentively listen to her speech, but you can't really find any kind of pattern or combination of words or any kind of really hidden meaning behind her words. She seemed to speak compassionately, and even though she speaks quite elegantly, her words doesn't feel pre-written. It is as if she is speaking from her heart and try to convey information to you that she really, really believes in. And Emma, to your question, yes, what she describes is similar to what you heard before near Waterdeep when you listened to first time on the sermon of the Sermon of the One.
All right.
Do I get the sense that she genuinely believes it? What she's saying, that she's a true believer.
Uh, give me an insight check.
Okay. Insight. I'm rolling like dog shit.
Sorry. Oh yeah, yes.
I'm rolling very
Yeah,
badly.
you're fairly certain that she's not faking this enthusiasm. You don't really know if she believes what she says or if she, a true believer to say so, but you know that she's passionate about conveying this message. That is obvious.
Cool.
Is the speech done?
Uh, just a moment.
Can I wake up a drish now?
Funny thing is,
Fucking
you
know that
actually
this
kind of
shit is
snore like that
important.
too.
They do. She fucking laid back on the bed.
Not on the bed. I'm still on my chair. I'm just a little bit leaning back.
So yeah, basically, Emma, when you heard to Thomas, the third of the tertia of
Thank you,
prayer,
Jen. Sorry.
Okay.
he was speaking of a similar scene in his vision of what the one brings, this paradise-like scene. But yeah, with that, her speech is finished. She stepped down from the little podium, and it seems that with this the sermon is over, and the people begins to sort of not really push past you, but walk out as people begin to file out beside you. And as the people begin to walk by, you just realize how many people really have gathered in this small space. There could have been at least 150 people, not counting the people outside.
Mm-hmm. And now the word will spread. Anyway,
just to
I'm
listen to
gonna-
this one woman.
I'm gonna float down and land in front of the woman.
I'm going to.
Hi there.
As you sort of land, she seems startled. Similarly, she was engulfed in this situation and did not actually notice you floating above. She sort of yelps a bit and staggers backwards as you land in front of her.
Relax, relax.
Oh, it's you.
You know who I am. Oh, you were on the battlefield.
Yes. Oh, I'm I'm humbled that you remember. Welcome, welcome to our little convent. But oh, I'm glad that all of you have come to listen to the words of the one. Well, my words.
Well, we did in fact come for that, but we also had an ulterior motive in coming to the church today. We we were informed that there was some senior church leadership in town, a woman by the name of Marissa Tehari.
Oh yes, the second. She's upstairs.
We were wondering if we could perhaps have a moment of her time.
Oh, well, certainly. Let me just ask her. She was quite tired of the research, but I'm certain that she would be glad to meet you.
Well,
She's still smiling at you, and as you stand very close to her, you see that scar is quite gruesome. Like whatever hit her almost ripped her jaw off.
Is it worse than Silvio's scar?
It is on par. You know,
That's-
like Silvio is a bit more scarred on the entire side of side of his face. You know, his ear, pieces of his ear is missing, and his skin is an odd color. But her scar is this deep, or brownish red, where the skin has healed, but still the scar remains. But yeah, she walks past you and quickly sort of jogs up the stairs, leaving you and the man beside you. You did not notice, but a sort of brown bearded human man, also in the robes of the one, has sit up. He was seemingly writing this large booklet on a table beside her. And he steps up and greets you as well. Ah, yes. Welcome. You're the Aegis, correct?
Yep. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And we have some friends with us from another group called Cerberus.
Pleasure.
He turns towards you and bows his head. Ah, yes, I have. I've heard of you as well. It's wonderful things you have done for the people.
As you did, or at least your group in Waterdeep.
I heard that your deeds have inspired people to be better, to do good themselves. It's quite an achievement in these trying times.
We'll try your best.
Then separate from the monsters.
Damn,
Yeah,
I'm
Moldy only does good when it benefits him.
I'm going to take a notepad and a pen. Doing good
God.
for the sake of others. That's a good catchline.
Yo, this is literally the write that down me. Write that down.
No.
What
Apparently,
separates
this is what happens when I get too high.
With that, you hear the herd steps down the sort of creaking wooden staircase, and the elven woman once again appear. Yes, the second is very happy to see you. Please, she is just on the first room to the left.
We will follow her.
Just before we do that, do you know, did she write extensively about Nimbus clouds over Silvery Peaks, or is that a different Mercia? Before we meet her.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Think
I
it's a
I heard she made extensive historical research of the Elven and Kingdoms of the past, as well as the Netherese empires. But
What?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about any kind of cloud formations.
Yo, I'm looking at Ardy, and Ardy's looking at me.
I'm closing my eye.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your help.
Okay. So yeah, you head upwards on the stairs.
With one eye closed.
It's fine. I'm just standing slightly in front
Yeah.
of that side of Adrist.
Uh,
We
uh,
got
give-
this.
give- give me an acrobatics check. You lost depth perception on one eye. No, you don't. You don't need to.
I'm kidding. I'm not closing an eye.
I'm certain you can walk up a stair.
I'm flying still.
Yeah, you just float up the stairs, fucking deposing. Oh,
I'm like a fucking glitched out NPC just going up staircases.
you're going to get stuck on the banister, just fucking teleport on the roof
Yeah.
like a roach. So, you reach the top of the staircase, and to the left you see an open door.
Let me step in.
You find yourself in a quite small and simply furnished room. There's a small bed to the side and a wardrobe beside it. There's a small area for cleaning yourself. So there's just a bowl on a table and a copper mirror. There's a single window sort of across from the door itself, and most of the room is actually taken up by two large wooden tables laden with scrolls and sheets of paper scribbled and written over. Beside that, in a wooden chair, sits an elven woman. Her hair, beautiful blonde, straight, hanging over her shoulder, sort of reaching sort of the middle of her back. She's wearing the same simple brown robes of the Church of the One, but from her neck hangs the symbol, which the downstairs people you see in the wearing this quite one of them was wearing a simple wooden carving. The other is a copper one. The one she is wearing seems to be made out of silver, or at least something covered with silver. She has a fairly beautiful face, especially for elven kind, and she is looking at you with these bright, light brown eyes, and smiles as you enter. Oh, well, greetings, heroes of Silvery Moon and Cerberus. It is a pleasure to be to meeting you.
You've
Uh,
heard of her.
Pleasure is ours.
Yes,
Thank you for taking the time to see us.
my
Everybody
name
says that
is
at the same time.
Marisa Tihari, as you might have heard. How may I help you? What can for myself do for you?
Her name is Marissa, right?
Yeah, Merisa.
Well, we heard that you were in town on some kind of research mission, trying to find information about the one.
She places a hand over the paper covered table and turns towards you with sort of a sour expression on her face.
Can I cast detect thoughts and just keep? And I don't need to delve deep. I just want to keep an eye on her surface.
Okay. What does this detect thoughts ability actually do?
Do you want me to try and ping it out somehow? Give me a
Oh,
sec.
I just need to look it up because I don't quite remember the exact nature of the
Delves
thoughts.
deeper, it needs a check. Normally, you can just see like top level thoughts like emotions, stuff like that.
Do you even have that spell on you?
I have it via my helm of telepathy.
Oh yeah. Why don't you have it?
Isn't this what Mario used to do?
I'm not sure.
Ah. I need to make a note of that to give you that spell from the Helm of Telepathy.
I initially learned the surface thoughts of any creature, what is most on their mind at the minute. That's all really. That I can probe deeper, but I'm not going to for now. Also, I need to drop off soon, so I have to go up really early for work.
Yeah.
Um,
Actually, I think we're going to stop here,
Okay.
and we're going to pick it up from what you gleam in Marissa's mind.
Hey, we have so many questions to ask her about ancient
Did they find
empires.
out about Asmodeus?
Oh,
That's the first
yo, bro, if we hear that bar, Artie is, oh man, he's never letting you live this down. He's gonna say, I've been preaching this since we met these guys.
I mean, these people are sus as fuck, dude.
I feel like they're red herring from Higg.
Could be.
Yeah.
Well, how did you guys like today's session?
Yeah, fun session.
Fun.
Unique session.
I
Mhm.
enjoyed that.
Lot of talking, lot of introductions. But
Yeah.
the group is together, and you guys are going to learn about each other and all sorts of shenanigans. And we're on the road. We figuring shit out. We meeting new people.
Meeting a horse.
By the
We
way,
were
like, does the camera
pretty
look too?
adept.
Do the
Sorry,
cameras look too big? Sorry.
I have no
the
idea.
cameras are too big.
I think she's asking about the stream.
Sentiment.
Oh yeah.
No, it's fine.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah. But yeah, I hope you guys had fun today. I was trying to make this as smooth as possible, even though
It was
it's
very
quite
fun.
hard to get you guys into the campaign. But I
Session
hope
90. What is it today?
96. But
96?
I hope it wasn't too overwhelming, and you guys had a bit of fun.
Yeah.
And I promise you will get all of our stupid in jokes in 4 or 5 sessions.
Do you like
Yeah,
how adept we are at not giving any backstory? You guys asked like 5 times.
Oh my,
Slip it away.
Yeah.
To be honest, I absolutely love how Esper is like, I'm